everyone, and welcome to another Tinfoil Tuesday. How's everyone doing? I hope your week's going alright so far. We are, of course, playing Tinfoil Tuesday Bingo today, so get your cards ready if you'd like. One card per person, please. The first person that gets a bingo, verified by myself, will get a gift sub. How's everyone doing? Lady Ann, thank you so much for 52 months, says, holy, can I get well wishes for my mother? She's 71 and having a double cataract surgery tomorrow. All of my well wishes to her. I hope it goes very well. Thank you for the subscription. So yeah, we have tinfoil today. A lot of it has to do with the Super Bowl or the big game, which I might be calling it for legal reasons. I do not have the rights to the Super Bowl. But, you know, conspiracy theorists always freak out about the halftime show and the commercials. So we have a few videos about that, but all sorts of other stuff as well. Should be good tinfoil day. It took me a long time to find stuff today, but once I did, it's some solid stuff. So I'm excited. I'm dressed down today a little bit for costume. I'm still within theme, but you know, I'm not wearing the big thing today just because I'm a little warm. So Benny Johnson said the halftime show was satanic. Should I know who Benny Johnson is? Is this a good thing or a bad thing that I don't know who Benny Johnson is? I'm at the age where I don't know people. I don't know things. The first time that happened to me was with JoJo Siwa. I was like, who's that? That's a person? You didn't make that up? Like, this isn't a picture of a parody of a child pop star? This was 5 years ago now. I've been out of touch. My mid-20s, so that's nice. Anyway, so, he was one of the 4 grifters publicly revealed to be paid by Russia, along with Tim Pool and Dave Rubin. Oh, fun. So, a real great guy. Did I hear Daryl Brooks got his ass beat? I did not. That's a shame. I don't like the guy, but I also don't think people should be getting assaulted in prison. So, yeah, I guess we can get into it. We are still working on the tip goal. The tip goal is for a karaoke stream. So if you want the karaoke stream, use the tip link. If you want to help support the stream otherwise, you can gift subs or subscribe yourself on Twitch. You could also become a YouTube member. Where are the bingo cards available? Here you go. You just got to do this command, ! bingo. And there you go. Pops right up. 1 card per person, though you can refresh it a couple times if you'd like. I don't have a problem with that. Hey, Nemesaur, how's it going? So yeah, we can get into it. Cool beans. Let's start with this. This video will I sing Weird Al's aluminum foil. That might be apropos. So this video is literally titled, "If you watch this video, you're a complete moron." So it sounded like something I'd be into, so let's check this out.
If you watch this entire video till the end, you're a complete moron.
I love targeted videos.
You should not listen to anything I have to say. Stop watching this video now. Click off now while you still can.
Alright, let's see what he has written here. You are a probability, as a quote, not sure what he means by that, with some sort of psychedelic insectoid creature, and then live guided interdimensional meditation to bring 5D solar flash event. Okay, that's dimensions beyond our own on the bingo card, and let's say word salad to bring the interdimensional 5D solar flash event. That's word salad, I think.
You should not listen to anything I have to say because I only tell the truth. It's a very bad way to make money these days. Obviously, I'm a moron. If you're listening...
I like when the conspiracy theorists are upset that they don't make money on YouTube and their reasoning is something along the lines of, people don't like the truth. No, man, YouTube just doesn't make money. Like, I don't know what to tell ya. Not a lucrative career. You're like a very niche channel about meditating for insectoids or something. It's not a big user base.
Listening to me, that means you're a moron.
Is him calling himself a moron telling on himself? He's being facetious, so he's being sarcastic here. but I would say yes accidentally. So we can do conspiracy theorist tells on themselves on the bingo card.
Do not listen to anything I have to say because I'm old. I wear my pants above my hip bones to hide my underwear.
Okay, so this is one of the reasons I picked this video. I don't think this guy has been paying attention to pop culture for 25 years. So he still thinks that, like, sagging is a thing. To be clear, this was, like, a thing when I was in, like, middle school. Like, in fairness, maybe it still is to some extent. But the heyday of old white people complaining about people's pants sagging was about 20 years ago. This isn't even a relevant talking point these days. So I don't know what he's talking about. I think he's just real stuck in some kind of weird. He's Gen X, it looks like, but he's got a bad case of boomer brain.
I am so old and I'm so out of touch that I find it so amazing to me that people in their 30s wake up every morning and they pick out what color underwear they're going to wear in their pants that they cinch down below their butt, and then they have a belt that they use to cinch down their pants so that they can
They're a good kind of boomer brain. Yes, it was in possession of one Fred Rogers. A real one.
show you the brightly colored underwear that they picked out this morning. And these guys think they are on the edge of what people think is hip, happening, and fashionable. Do not listen to anything I have to say.
Again, his whole criticism there is like 20 years out of date. Like, does he know what, like, it seems like he's gesturing vaguely in kind of a racist way towards the way that, like, was stereotypical of, like, rap culture, you know, in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, stuff like that. Not relevant these days, so it just feels weirdly out of touch racially coded.
When I see this guy who looks middle-aged to me, has his hair up in a fashion that little girls used to wear when I was a
You're upset that he has, like, a hair band or, like, some sort of cloth in his hair? What? What? Like, this isn't even, like, necessarily a new look. Like, hippies had shit. What do you... What?
in a fashion.
Seeing, older people freak out about things being different than when they were younger brings me, weirdly, a lot of joy. I don't know why. It probably shouldn't. That's not fair, but here I am.
That little girls used to wear when I was a kid. I'm so old that when I look at this guy, I wonder how he walks down the street without getting his ass kicked.
Oh, wow, a propensity towards violence. That's the lead poisoning. Sorry you're late, unacceptable, Harold Elbman. Your penance will be watching the rest of the stream. Fate worse than death.
By the way, this guy is a
Bitter Grin says, OMG, fashion has changed since I was a child.
ex-CIA.
Wait, what did he say about the CIA?
By the way, this guy is a ex-CIA.
What?
Ex-CIA.
Is this FBI threat, or does it have to be worse than that? It has to be worse than that. That's just, like, general old white guy thinking that it's socially acceptable to talk about wanting to beat the shit out of people. I don't know what's up with that. Hey, if anyone needs to hear this, that's socially unacceptable now. Like, it should have been back then, too, but it certainly is now. People are just gonna think you're insane if your first instinct talking about someone you don't like is to say they should be beat up. That's a really antiquated worldview that makes you look like a douchebag. Uses AI on the bingo card? That's a good question. I would say yes. That's gotta be right. It looks like it. We'll go with yes. We'll say that's AI.
Listen to him. Do not listen to...
Wonder what fashion I won't understand when I'm 70. See, here's the difference. I've never understood fashion, but I also don't think that there's some objective right way to have fashion. So I can be confused by things and not be upset by them. I'm confused by most things. The world is a very confusing place. It's okay to be confused and not understand things. The problem is just when instead of recognizing that you just don't understand it, you start blaming other people and getting mad. You know, like the JoJo Siwa thing I talked about earlier. I don't know shit about JoJo Siwa, but I'm also not mad that JoJo Siwa exists. There have always, like in our economic and social systems, at least within my parents' and my parents' lifetime, have been some pop star or rock star or whatever that a generation before doesn't get. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It's a big place, this world. You can find things you like, and there's enough room for things you don't understand that other people like. It's a beautiful thing. Reptoid for graphics? No, that's not a reptoid. That's an insectoid. That's an insectoid, not a reptoid. See how it's an insect? Different than reptoids.
to anything I have to say.
Is this a goblet of cola? Yeah. What do you drink your cola in? Pleb?
Because I talk to extraterrestrials every day.
Believes they speak with aliens regularly on the bingo card. Wow, this guy is like a bingo jackpot.
No, seriously. I honestly believe that I talk to extraterrestrials every single day.
This guy and Peter should hang out.
Don't listen to anything.
Finish your nuggets and your brain is nuggeted in barbecue sauce. I wish I had chicken nuggets. Someone give me chicken nuggets. Oh man, last night I went to the store and I bought eggs. I was really craving eggs. And I decided to make an omelet, and I made a 6-egg omelet. But I fucked up the fold and it turned into scrambled eggs. But it was delicious scrambled eggs. Delicious scrambled eggs.
Thing I have to say. I believe that a 7-foot-tall extraterrestrial red mantis being told me that I was king of Atlantis before the flood.
Dope. Atlantis on the bingo card. I didn't know we were watching former royalty. Be the Submariner or Aquaman or a secret third stupider thing.
Seriously. I honestly believe that that happened to me. Don't listen to anything I have to say. I thought that I was going to be taken off Earth in a spaceship last year. That's the truth. I honestly believed that. I thought that was going to happen. I believed it so much that I called up the few people that I still know, and I told them that in case I disappeared, it didn't mean I died. It meant that I was taken off of this planet, and they didn't have to worry about me.
Oh, that's sad.
Seriously, I believed this so much that I actually wrote a note with a pen and paper, and I taped it to my counter so that when my landlord didn't get the rent from me because I had been taken off this planet on a spaceship, that he would at least...
Imagine having to explain that one to your landlord. I can't pay rent this month. I couldn't work. Why? Abducted by aliens again. Can't keep using that excuse, man. Ashley One Up says, Dear Hannah, your order for chicken nuggets has been accepted. Please provide your address and credit card numbers for delivery. Dang it! I want free nuggets! I don't want to pay for them. They don't taste as good. H-Bird says, I'm sure they worry about him a lot.
At least know that I wasn't dead. And so that when the cops came looking for me, they would find the note and they would call and tell him.
Can I stop on his blue statement? Wait, when was it? Said something about being kidnapped by bikini models? When did a blue thing pop up? There it is. Okay. If you watch this video till the end, you're a moron. Do not listen to anything I say because I only tell the truth. A bad way to make money these days. Self-aggrandizing delusions of grandeur. I'm old. I wear my pants above my hip bones to hide my underwear. Wildly out of touch statement. I talk to extraterrestrials every day. No, seriously, every day. A 7-foot-tall ET red mantis being told me I was king of Atlantis. What if that mantis was lying? I want to put this out there. If he's just trusting that space mantis, I'll have you know that no, I'm not trying to be speciest, but insectoids, known liars. Do not trust insectoids. Bad blood between reptilians and insectoids. Sorry. Telling you. We live in a society. I thought I was going to be taken off Earth in a UFO last year. I'm 61, but I still think that 30-year-old bikini models want me? I think even the still is maybe a little delusions of grandeur, you know? I don't know, whatever. I believe that twice a week I save Earth from total destruction. Thanks, I guess. I've been a YouTuber for over 15 years, but I can't get more than 500 viewers. Either I'm a genius or I'm totally deluded. I would agree with that last statement. It's one of them.
Looking for me, they would find...
Don't reptiles tend to eat insects? Yes. Do you have a purpose for pointing that out?
the note, and they would call and tell them.
They're delicious. Have you seen the Earth animation Lion King? There's a delicious ode to eating ooey gooey insectoids called Hakuna Matata. You seen it? Makes eating bugs look delicious.
Actually did that. So don't listen to anything I have to say. Don't listen.
Nemesaur with a $10 tip says, how much could nuggets cost, Hannah? $10? Thank you very much. Appreciate the tip.
Anything I have to say because I'm 61, but I still think that 30-year-old bikini models want to date me. I mean, I'm attracted to
I'm
them.
into insectoid vor. I said I like to eat insects. That's like saying I'm into hamburger vor because I like to make patty melts. You know what I mean? It's not vor if you're just eating it for sustenance. Alright? It has to be sexual to be vor. It is not sexual. They're just delicious.
That must mean that they're attracted to me. Right? Isn't that how that goes? I'm obviously deluded. Do not listen to anything I have to say. Because I truly believe that twice a week I save the earth from total destruction. That's what I believe extraterrestrial.
This guy's talked about doing a lot of hallucinogenic drugs on other videos, by the way. So my recommendation to you would be, if you have a history of mental illness within your family, in particular delusional or psychotic disorders, probably don't do hallucinogenic drugs because there have been studies that show that it can trigger, you know, psychotic ideation that doesn't necessarily shut off when you're done taking the drug. So, again, I warn you, careful with drugs, kids. You know, I get it. I'm not telling you can't ever do drugs, but I'm saying, just because Dare lied to you about marijuana doesn't mean all drugs are fine. There are a lot of them that can fuck you up, let me tell you.
Have told me. I honestly believe.
I used to be normal and then I took mushrooms. Look what happened to me. Rohan, thanks for 41 months. Appreciate it.
That I leave this earth in my astral body twice a week when we do these live guided meditations. I turn into some giant, super powerful, all powerful God, and I send power and light out of my mouth as I chant mantras. And I honestly believe, because I've been told this.
Giants on the bingo card? Sure. He did talk about the aliens being giants, so I'll count it.
Extraterrestrials. That is
41 months of Bezos money. True. If you don't know, by the way, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to your Twitch account and you get one free subscription every month, your Amazon Prime subscription. And if you're not using it for anyone else, it would help out a lot if you used it for me. So if you haven't already, consider connecting your Amazon Prime to your Twitch and using your Prime sub on me. And no one else, just me. Thank you.
job, because as the ex-king of Atlantis, it is my job to shift the earth back up to Satya Yuga. Seriously. I honestly believe that. Why are you still watching this video? You're a moron. Don't listen to anything I have to say. I've been a YouTuber for over 15 years, but I can't get more than 500 views. I will be
I'm
surprised.
gonna be honest, that's not uncommon for a lot of long, if it's not content that connects with people, it just doesn't. It is what it is.
If
Misunderstands Eastern religions? Sure. This guy's gonna be the whole bingo
this
card by the
video
end.
gets more than 200, 250 views. I will be even more surprised if you're stupid enough to subscribe or to go to my Patreon channel.
Can we look at the wizard website? I actually have another wizard video for us today, too, that says wizards are real. Love wizards.
Subscribe there. If that happens, I will actually be surprised.
If you know the things you're saying are delusional, why are you still saying them? He's lampshading. He's lampshading the insanity. In fairness, he doesn't know how crazy this is. He seems to genuinely be delusional.
Obviously, you shouldn't listen to me. Because either I am a genius or I'm totally deluded. Either I have inside information about the truth of this universe, about the truth of our existence that has been kept hidden from us by, I believe that there's a dark
It's thunderwizard.com. I'll look at it after this video.
force of Illuminati elites.
Illuminati on the bingo card. God damn.
Who are doing all kinds of horrible things and worshiping Satan and things like
Idiot
that.
says they're a genius. No, because he's saying the opposite of that. Even though he's being facetious, I'm going to say no.
In order to keep us trapped, I honestly believe that they have access to technology that could completely free the world from...
Oh, fuck. Believe sci-fi technology exists on the bingo card.
...starvation, poverty, and illness. And they're choosing to hide
we're going to do a bingo check after this.
From us just so that they can sell us oil. I honestly believe that. I'm so stupid, I didn't get the...
Yeah, that's not
Don't listen to
intelligent.
anything I have to say. Don't even watch this video. But whatever you do, don't subscribe and don't come back for more information. Come on. Don't be a moron.
Well, that was something. All right, let's take a look at the bingo card real quick. All right, Ancient Wisdom uses AI. Believes they speak to aliens regularly. Vibes-based conspiracy, believes sci-fi tech actually exists. Giants, dimensions beyond our own. Doesn't understand their problem is capitalism. He mentioned selling oil to people, so that's certainly gonna be one. Okay, no, you know what? You're right. We can do idiot says they're a genius. He's being facetious, but his meaning is clear. I shouldn't be that pedantic. Idiot says they're a genius. Poor understanding of Eastern philosophy and religion. Atlantis. Did he say The Matrix? I don't recall. Illuminati, Freemasons, Cabal, past lives, reincarnation. Aliens did it. All right. What else? Anything else? No Matrix yet? Okay. 16? What's 16? Conspiracy theorists tells on themselves? Yeah, I did say that, didn't I? Yep. Anyone? Is this not a bingo? Because, like, statistically, one person could have a smattering of these. Yeah, today's gonna be a quick-ass bingo day. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see what we're gonna cover next. Okay, so you know these ladies that has the bingo card gotten bigger over time? That's the the card with all the potential spaces. The normal cards look normal. Anyway, these ladies are the ladies that do the channeling. Can you guess who they're channeling today? Anyone? 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 They are channeling Brian Thompson, the former the former CEO of that healthcare company that got by who knows who. It's a mystery. It's a mystery who shot him. Probably some kind of ninja. Who knows? Anyway, let's see how far into this we can get before I get frustrated and leave.
Aerobics. All right. Brian Thompson is the subject, in case you guys didn't know. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was shot and killed outside a Manhattan hotel Wednesday, December 4th, 50 years old, left children behind. So we have some questions.
Think of how many more people he could have helped kill for his own bottom line. What a waste of a life. So many medical cares he could have denied. So many people he could have murdered.
For him, and if he can't answer it, Eric hopefully can. Is Brian Thompson?
He is here, and there's going to be he's going to answer some, and Eric's going to answer some too. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You guys don't kill the messenger. We are just.
Yes, please.
You just.
Oh, very poor choice of words.
Channeling. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around this, but it's not something that we intended to attract vitriol. So
you're literally choosing to do this. What are you talking about? You're choosing to do this.
Right, and I want to say too that
can't wait until they channel Donald Trump. Oh, they've already done that. They channel living people too.
Sometimes when I'm
the Super Soldier people also did a channeling of Donald Trump and had it all read out from a Trump AI voice. I just have chosen not to play that because, like, I don't want us to have to listen to Trump during this. Oh, shit. I actually skipped the end. Sorry.
He can't answer it. Eric hopefully can. Is Brian Thompson something that we intended to attract vitriol? So.
Right, and I want to say too that sometimes when I'm channeling,
they don't do the weird undulations for the channeling, unfortunately.
It's not just channeling, but like when I'm like also translating. So it's a combination, right, of what they're saying and the messages they're giving. That it's not me, it's not my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if
Green Guy with a $3 tip says, Hannah, there's got to be like 30 Brian Thompsons, like a common white guy name. How do they know they got the right guy? They looked for the guy who had killed the most people in their lifetime.
It sounds like it.
That's an easy way to sort to find healthcare CEOs from the United States.
I try to remember to say this is Eric, you know,
right.
But if it's my opinion, I'll say it's my opinion.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure people know that.
All right. So as a doctor, I will tell you my feelings about insurance companies. It's always been a battle to get people, even if it's like it's obvious that they should be covered. There's so send in an amendment, do this, that, and the other thing. A lot of paperwork. And I went to a convention for my continuing medical education, and they were talking about insurance, and there were people that used to work for the insurance companies there, and they said very calmly they would take a claim and just toss it in the trash. And hopefully nobody would.
Yeah, have I not mentioned to you guys that she's a doctor? Have you not seen all the giant, like, diplomas behind her? I guess there's one out of frame that you can't see that's over here that's quite large. Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things that makes her so interesting, is that she's very educated, but she, like, believes in this stuff, probably because of the untimely death of her son. She got sucked into this. It's very sad.
Come back with so. It's not exactly a clean industry, just like big pharma. I mean, they do a lot of good, but there's always like almost every institution, there's corruption involved.
Doctor of what? some kind of medicine. I don't know. I don't think it's like a made-up degree. I think she has an actual, like, doctorate. I just think, like, losing her kid fucked her up.
Absolutely.
Brian,
Yes.
did you intuitively feel that you were going to die that day?
That's such a funny thing to ask a ghost. Did you feel it coming? I got shot. It wasn't an orgasm. No, I did not feel it coming.
He's saying no to intuitively feeling this, but he's talking about he was getting threats or something, so he was always
I imagine he got a lot of threats. He killed a lot of people's family members. Toriadora says, Doctor what? Doctor who? Doctor Wiki, Slim Shady. Doctor, can't you see I'm burning?
it was like he didn't want to live his life like afraid.
Thompson
So he
twins.
was always kind of like it was in the back of his mind that it could happen.
Really?
But it wasn't like intuitively he's saying. Yeah.
What about your wife? Was she afraid for your life? Because
Did your wife know you were gonna die, you filthy bitch?
how controversial insurance company?
She was he's talking about it causing a lot of problems with them too. Because there was a
Good for that random person for fixing those marital problems for him.
fear because they have a family. You know, she feared for the kids and all of their lives. So there was a lot of problems there. Yes.
Was she
We
in
love when Hannah breaks into song. Well, good news! If you want to hear me break into song for a whole stream, use the tip link and add a tip. We get to the tip goal, we're doing a karaoke stream, which may or may not involve a puppet at some point. I'll do a duet with the puppet. I don't care.
intuitive? Eric, you probably answer that.
Yeah, Eric is saying that she was, but she didn't like she would get like these gut feelings. Matter of fact, okay, so he's saying matter of fact that day.
This
she
is just what she said to the media. They do this all the time. It's not quite cold reading. It's like warm reading. They look up beforehand what's publicly known about a person or the subject or things they said, and they'll sprinkle it into the reading to give an air of legitimacy. That way, if you go and look things up about it, you'll go, oh, they said that, and now I'm reading it in an article. It must have been their ghost they were talking to, even though the so-called medium got that information from the same place you're checking things. Not that it usually matters, but it gives texture to the reading that makes it sound legitimate.
kind of had like a gut feeling about something, but wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah.
Just something was off. But his mind, he's showing me, is focused, like like on his daily what he's got to do for work. You know, he was like focused, very driven. He's very driven energy. This energy.
All right.
Yeah.
So the fact that she
The
was
driven energy is the sociopathy. I don't know if you know this. The highest proportion of like psychopaths per job per capita is CEOs. Fun fact.
was picking up something makes me wonder if it was one of his exits, if it was contracted spiritually.
It was. Yes.
So she picked up on that, and they probably planned that together on the other, you know, in between.
There was a few
Oh, so they're saying he agreed to be killed. That was nice of him.
involved, he says. Yeah. Yeah. A few
And
involved,
was
including the killer.
the killer.
Now what was his name? It started with an L.
Hey, you don't know that. Innocent until proven guilty.
I don't remember his
I
name.
can't remember. I don't want to
Okay.
glorify him by speaking his name out loud, although I know.
Well, I was trying not to say killer, you know.
Yeah, right.
So, okay.
Okay. Can you
Mr.
confirm
L.
that were you receiving death threats?
He's talking about getting threats, notes.
Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube. I love that game. That's one of my favorite GameCube games. I love Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is my hero. Luigi from Luigi's Mansion, of course. For stopping all those ghosts in King Boo. King Boo, who had murdered so many in Luigi's Mansion.
I see like a note or something that he got at one point. calls. They're just saying, like,
All I'm saying is King Boo was holding Mario hostage. Really, King Boo, maybe because he was holding someone's family member's life in their hands and treating it like it's nothing for his own benefit. Maybe King Boo deserved to get sucked up in a vacuum created by Professor Egad. Maybe he should be stuck in that vacuum forever, and all the other King Boos should also get sucked up in vacuums by Luigi or other people who have an EGAD vacuum. Gillis Miller says, Luigi's Mangione.
I'm trying to get what the threats were. I'm hearing watch your back was one of them. Like, just comments like that.
Was this so usual that you were used to it? Whatever. Or were they rare?
Well, it wasn't like he was just used to it. But
Okay.
and it did concern him. But in his mind, you got to keep going. You can't let that stop you.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying. So,
All right, well, someone else will then.
You got to do your job.
Yeah, he didn't. There was also something about blowing him up, he said.
Oh, God.
Somebody said they're going to blow
Brian, Brian, do you think that the industry is corrupt? And were you corrupt?
Being that he was a part of the industry, he says there was corruption with him and the company because he didn't do enough to change it, is how he's...
He didn't do anything to change it! Why are they trying to equivocate on his fucking involvement? He was the CEO of this fucking subsidiary.
Putting it.
So that was his form of corruption.
Right. And there were other things that he did, illegal. It looks like illegal with funds, something illegal with funds.
Okay, we got some questions, I think, for that.
Okay. So something he's saying is, there were things that they did that were policy that they had to follow for policy and regulations and procedures or something like that. But it wasn't like on a daily basis, like looking to corrupt. It was more like there was a routine and there was things you had to do for work, but over on the side every once in a
I
while,
was only following orders?
there would be a little something that, maybe you shouldn't be doing, that kind of thing.
Did you know and did you agree with some claims just being ignored or denied unjustly?
The staring while she's, quote, listening to him is so funny. Green Guy with another $3 tip says, Hannah, I'm psychic, and if you are a CEO, I predict that your family is rich as fuck. You're a soulless prick, and you add no value, but only take value. Wow, you are psychic. James Randi, I think, would even admit that.
So he does have knowledge, he's saying, of these things. There were many, like it wasn't like an individual person, like there's so many, it's okay. He's going, there are many reasons that claims get denied. So it's not like he's sitting there watching them cross his desk, is what he's saying. Okay.
Yeah.
But
why are they, okay, I'm done. I can't listen to these fucking middle-aged people who are clearly well off, given that one's a fucking doctor and the other's a grifter. They're probably doing all right. I'm not going to sit here and let them play pretend in their head and equivocate on someone who killed so many people. God damn it. I feel bad for her for the trauma she clearly went through with her kid, but oh my god, her coping mechanism is so annoying. And she's the one that chooses to put it publicly on the internet. So that's on her. Anyway, moving on. Okay, let's watch a thing about the superb owl. Hey, guess who has a video about it? Yep, it's that guy who thinks all of football and all of sports is fake. Let's see what he had to say about the Super Bowl.
Welcome back to the National Fixed League, folks, where all the...
Yeah, the GOAT thing is up there. It's a real thing, but conspiracy theorists are taking the GOAT thing to a different place than it it should.
Games are fake and phony, and all these players are full of baloney. Super Bowl 59, we got the Chiefs We got the Eagles. Let's break down this fake phony Super Bowl, shall we? Mahomes, under pressure, escapes the pocket, starts running backwards. Where are you going, Mahomes? These Eagles players right here trip and fall all over each other. Ridiculous. Mahomes runs all the way back to his own 5-yard line before he finally decides to get rid of this ball. He throws this dead duck of a lobbed pass into double coverage, almost getting picked off in the process. It's broken up. Chiefs squander their first possession, and this was going to be an indicator for how it was going to go for the Chiefs. So then the Eagles take over possession of the ball. They drive right down the field, and here's a big play where the Kansas City defender right here, we'll just leave this Eagles wide receiver wide.
Haley says it's called a tactic, so like whether it works or not, sometimes moving back is a good idea. You don't understand. Anything that he doesn't like is a conspiracy, obviously. I really, really, really hope he stops sports gambling like he said. I have my doubts, but I really hope he did, because he had a problem with it.
Wide open on purpose. So you see how when the ball is hiked, there's a little tussle, a little hands-on action here. Now watch the defender. He'll just let the dude just take off and run right on by.
I legitimately forgot that the Super Bowl was Sunday, by the way. I was driving on Sunday, and I was like, where is everyone? Why is the road so empty? That's how in touch with sports I am.
And then at this point, he's burnt.
We're gonna have major issues in 5 to 10 years with gambling addicts. It's already an issue. It's just not publicly talked about as much as it should be. The amount of ads, oh my god. The amount of, like, guys in their 20s who are being completely just, like, inundated with ads for sports betting and who are getting into it, scary shit. It's gonna ruin so many lives. It's a problem. It's a problem that's gonna be a reckoning. There's a reason we banned online betting. There's a reason it was banned. Like, I get it. I'm not here to, like, stop people from doing things they want to do. I think a minimal amount of, like, intervention is usually the best policy. But this shit is so gamified and so manipulative to people who are prone to addiction, who are prone to, like, throwing money at stuff like this. It's disgusting.
The Eagles receiver catches the ball. It looks like he scores a touchdown here, but when they go check the replay, he was down just before he went into the end zone, which then leads to the Eagles' tush push, which goes right in, no problem. Eagles take the early lead. So now Mahomes finds himself in another third down situation. And it's as if Mahomes forgot how to play the quarterback position.
Did I celebrate Gulf of America Day on Sunday, or am I a normal person? Are there any third options? I certainly didn't, but I saw that. Really, really dumb. Really dumb. What else can I say about it? Gratz says, I hope next year the Lions get and win the Super Bowl just so their fans finally destroy Detroit. I live in Michigan. Don't wish ill on me.
It's almost as if he's never played this position before. So on this play, watch, he gets a little pressure here. But he escapes the pocket, has a man open for a first down right there, not far away. This is the greatest quarterback in the league, right? But watch. Whoa, he can't make this throw. Throws it way over that guy's head.
It just seems like any time someone fails at doing a thing they're trying to do, he considers it a conspiracy. Like, no one can ever fail at the play they're attempting, even though that happens all the time.
Somehow the golden boy missed the open receiver right in front of him. So now the Chiefs are looking to go up by 2 scores. Watch how the Chiefs' defense purposely doesn't cover this Eagles wide receiver. It's kind of comical, actually. Watch. So he gets touched a little bit, but then let go by number 90. Just nobody picks him up. And there he is, just like waiting for the ball, just standing there staring at the QB. Nobody gonna run over there and pick that guy up? Dude, he's just waiting for the ball, and he gets it, of course. So plays like this is how the Eagles just
random thing. By the way, I know that Just a Peach and Green Guy were asking for a wish list that had the shelves and chair. So here's the link to that. This is only for them. It doesn't have other... It has a few other things on it, but those aren't for them. That was the wish list I was already using.
And right on
You
down
wanted that, there it is.
the field, no problem. It's because the Chiefs were just letting them get open. At this point, it looks like the Eagles...
I think he's intentionally doing the thing with the camera so that the NFL doesn't catch him, which is like not an unreasonable thing to do with footage of the Super Bowl.
are about to go up by 2 scores.
I'll tell you what, if I do get a new chair, we can ritualistically sacrifice this chair on stream. I don't know what I'll do, but I will destroy it on camera if that's something y'all would like. We can ritualistically murder the chair, woo, and drink its chair blood, which is probably just hydraulic fluid from the lifter part, so I probably shouldn't do that.
So the NFL decides to trick the live sports bettors with a little bit of live betting bait. Rather than have the blowout start too early.
You know, I
You
can't
have
set it
Jalen-
on fire, as we are in a house, so can't do that, but...
Hurts throw this interception on purpose and make it blatantly obvious to trick folks into betting on Kansas City for the comeback.
Harold Ebbleman says, I know you'll probably watch the halftime show for tinfoil context if nothing else, but I have to shamelessly plug the whole damn intro show thing, minus the obligatory armed forces shoutouts. It was an excellent and respectful display of our actual culture here in New Orleans. Black and proud as hell. Nice. I haven't seen it yet.
So there's no receiver anywhere near that dude. The closest receiver was way over here. So obviously Hurts threw that interception on purpose. The Chiefs take over the ball. They're facing another 3rd down situation. This time Mahomes fires a ball at Travis Kelce's feet, who actually has a chance to make the catch, but, oh, no, he can't do it. So now suddenly the Chiefs, not looking like the champs, looking more like chumps. Oh, yes, the script is in now, folks. It looks like the Chiefs have been given that same script that they were given against Tom Brady and the Bucs several years back. So the Eagles tack on a field goal. They go up 10-0. Let's see what the Chiefs do with this
This just
possession.
reads as being a salty armchair coach taken to the extreme. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is, and that's what's so funny, is that this guy is so conspiratorial that he can't ever accept being wrong about anything. So that leads him to flat earth. If you don't know, this guy's also a flat earther, you know? He blames everything that happens to him that he doesn't like on some nefarious force. Interesting. He's so consistent.
Another
You're tired of this guy. I get it's repetitive. We can move on to something else. I did have a thing about the Super Bowl commercials. Do that. There it is. This is about the commercials. Again, I haven't seen these. Kagami says, I hate that I'm having to do this again, but the weather has screwed me out of some of my money because I work in lawn care. If you guys can spare it, please help by donating to my GoFundMe. Sorry, I promised to stop having to do this. You're good, Kagami. People need help sometimes. He's cool.
Another edition of the Truth Zone. As always, this is your host, Truth Seeker here. And let's talk about the Superb Owl Bowl commercials. And all of these commercials that you will notice have a
If
certain...
you don't know about the whole Superb Owl thing, the NFL, as the trademark holders to the name Super Bowl are very, very litigious with other people using that name, which is why people either call it the Big Game or the Superb Owl or some permutation of that. Because of litigious bullshit.
Theme about them. There's a theme of
It's
AI
mostly become a gag and a joke on how litigious they are, but get it.
taking over man merging with machine. And of course, they also had the alien theme because why wouldn't they? Because they are still trying to make aliens seem normal because eventually they want to stage a fake alien invasion, in my honest opinion.
That's not really an opinion. That's just a fact that's wrong. That's just an incorrect assertion. That's not an opinion. An opinion is like, oh, I like this or I don't like this. Something you think is going to happen. Like, you can say it's your opinion, but it's a statement you're making about something that's a prediction that's wrong. Yes, that's Project Bluebeam on the bingo card. Project Bluebeam is the conspiracy that the US government, along with other world governments, are planning to fake an alien invasion in order to usher in a one-world government. It's a conspiracy.
Via Project Bluebeam. But all of this stuff was nothing more than a bunch of propaganda that they showcased during each and every one of these commercials. And it's no surprise because the commercials are really where they are blatant the most, because they can just use those quick ad spots to throw a bunch of stuff out and it will go into people's subconscious. Case in point, this commercial right here is more truth in plain sight because it showed Tom Brady getting his batteries changed in this commercial. And this has to do with man merging with machine. And it's more truth in plain
But this ad conspiracy count as popular media is evil? Yes. The Super Bowl and its commercials are, yes, a media event, so I would count that.
sight.
Who put these in, Tom? Only Duracell has power boosting
Are they gonna get mad at me for playing parts of these ads? They probably are, aren't they?
ingredients. What, Tom, are you okay?
So they are telling you
Okay, so it looks, I'm probably gonna have to skip through them because I don't want to,
Everyone keep asking me that since the roast. I gotta go. Gronk's down again.
Duracell people have been a thing forever. Yeah, if he thinks this is new, there are old Duracell commercials. What are the name? Here they are.
So, is everybody using Duracell batteries?
No kidding. The second I heard they had a battery that outlasts all other brands, I bought the family a whole case.
Reminds me of the first time we tried Duracell batteries. We were living in Tulsa with your great Aunt Emma. We shared a one-room apartment. Herb, did you slip her one of those other batteries?
Me?
The copper top.
Fun fact, they were planning on making a movie based on these characters, but it never happened. They're called the Puttermans. This was a whole series of ad spots they did in the 90s. There were a lot of them. So this idea of, Duracell being in a person and powering them, that's not even a new concept for an ad. In this case, they're just using a famous sports figure because, again, it's an ad being played during the Super Bowl, so obviously.
telling you without telling you what exactly is going on.
You might be right. It might have been a TV series. I don't remember.
Also say that
Looks like the robots from Heart Beeps. Don't get me started on Heart Beep.
be a hint.
I have Heart Beeps in the other room. Fuck! Hannah mentions Blu-rays on the bingo card. Don't mention Heart Beeps. It'll make me mention Blu-ray.
At cloning on top of that. All of this stuff is truth in plain sight. And speaking of the alien stuff, and this was a prominent theme throughout a lot of these commercials. Now, one can say that they were making fun of conspiracy theorists, people who believe in aliens, but I think it is more deeper than that.
Wow, even more deeper? Wow, crazy. More deeper-er? Even mostly the most deeper-est. Crazy.
That this was more truth in plain sight because they are showing you and telling you exactly what they are about and what they are planning here in the near future with a fake alien invasion. That's just my honest opinion on everything. Again,
Okay, that's stupid. That's really stupid. That's a stupid opinion. That's like a really, really silly opinion based on nothing. Please stop spreading it on the internet. Your opinion is worthless. Thank you.
and all of these commercials are designed in such a way to condition the masses without them really even knowing, because it's going into their subconscious.
We've made contact with a new alien species, and apparently they're foodies.
Oh, foodies.
How much did they play Gordon Ramsay for this shit?
The worst.
Mr. Ramsey will need you to cook for them. You'll have access to everything the Area 51 test kitchen has to offer, including top secret alien cooking technology.
Wait, that's just a Hexlad pan. I've got these at home.
Unfortunately, it was leaked 8 years ago. The pan was developed using material from an alien spacecraft.
What?
Extremely durable, but low friction. Created to deal with a thick egg-like atmosphere.
You're saying the pan I use to fry my bacon is made out of flying saucers?
We don't have time for a science lesson, Mr. Ramsey. The alien
He's not a very good actor, considering how much, like, TV shows he does, huh? Stephen J. Neptune, man, thanks for 33 months.
ambassador is already here.
Whoa.
Not her. Him.
Hey, what's up, dude? You're an alien?
Oh my god, it's that guy that dates everyone in Hollywood. That I don't understand that either. Why? I don't know.
All famous people are aliens.
I'm not.
I meant like really famous people.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
That's not even an original joke. That's a joke stolen directly from Men in Black from the 90s. The 90s, they already did that joke that every famous person is secretly an alien, or at least a large amount of them.
And if you notice in this commercial, they had to show you Saturn because why not? That all ties.
Probably just because it's a recognizable planet and it's easier to have a Saturn there than like a different sphere, and people would go, what's that? But with that, you go, oh, it's Saturn, a planet. I get it.
Into the Saturnalia. The Saturn.
I'm sorry, I gotta use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about, this definitely not a bootleg of Moon Knight. This is definitely illegal. This is not a bootleg of a Disney property. Who would do that? That's very illegal. Don't bootleg things, kids. It's illegal. Green guy with a $1 tip says, Chair, this item can't be shipped to a wish list or gift registry address. Pick another. Ah! That's annoying. Alright, I'll be right back.
Worship. And if you catch
Polysaturated lipids, thanks for 38 months. Also, sorry, that played for a second because I have a wireless headphone in, and I accidentally, while I was fixing my hair in the bathroom, I accidentally hit play for a sec. Sorry. I mean, Cher did it. Ooh. Ooh. Almost on a hype train.
what Pete Davidson said. He said all famous people are aliens, the really famous people. That can tie into reptilians because these people are telling you.
Reptilians on the bingo card?
without telling you exactly what they are about and what they are planning. And again, they are also setting the stage for a fake alien invasion in the near future. This is why they constantly have to have these alien-like commercials, but aliens are demons. And it's truly
I think it's more just because there are probably a decent number of alien-themed ones this year, because with the drones and stuff being a big, like, mass hysteria, discussion of aliens is really hot this year. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this. In conspiracy circles as well, the alien discourse has gotten popular again. So I just think it's a time period where aliens are popular. You remember, like, when the time period when vampires were really popular? There was a time period when zombies were really popular in pop culture. I think we're entering an alien period, kind of like the 90s, around the period when, like, X-Files was on TV. I think we're going into that kind of pop cultural alien fascination, which is fine. I just hate it for tinfoil because I find aliens uninteresting as a conspiracy theory.
Amazing the symbolism that they constantly show you over and over and over again. And again, they use these commercials because they are quick spots, usually like 30 seconds, to throw the symbolism in there. This is.
Do I think it's related to the general zeitgeist? It might be. There's a pretty big connection between distrust in the government and belief in UFOs. So it could be because we're in a period of, I don't know, distrust in the government coupled with social unrest. I don't know. Could be something about that.
Why
you said aliens are demons? All right, aliens are demons on the bingo card. Sorry, I missed it because I was talking.
Do this via the ads most of the time, the Super Bowl ads. And you also will have.
Also, you know what? I kind of want to do the karaoke stream, so all tips through Friday are doubled. I'm going to put that out there. If you want to get to the tip goal, because I kind of do, I think the karaoke stream actually sounds fun. All tips are doubled between now and Friday. Automatically, I will double them at the end of the stream and fix them for the next day.
Have a lot of people that don't even watch football.
I will count all the ones that happened today already, because I, didn't say it.
And just for the commercials. So this is why they ramp up the symbolism in the commercials, because they are trying to pretty much hypnotize a lot of people all at once. They are trying to put all of this in their subconscious.
Aliens.
Again, he's got it backwards. I imagine that the companies that put together these ads, the advertising firms, the PR firms that put these ads together, look at data about what is interesting right now, what people are searching, what videos are popular on places like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And I'd imagine they're seeing, like I am, but they have a bunch of data to back it up. I assume they're seeing, oh, people are interested in UFOs and aliens. So let's use that as a topic for our thing. That simple. It's marketing. They're not trying to get this into people's subconscious. It's already a thing that people are talking about in society. So they decide to do an ad about it to enter the conversation. That way they can use that to advertise a product. It's cynical, It's not hard to understand. Doesn't understand their problem is capitalism on the bingo card? And they just want to sell Coca-Cola. I need everyone to understand this. In real life conspiracies, usually it's people trying to sell Coca-Cola or something analogous to that. That's usually the evil plan. Is to take power so that they can make more money, or have power as an end unto itself, or to sell you Coca-Cola. Green guy says, sent you stuff, take down chairs so you don't get 2 more. Will do, thank you.
Come on, man!
We'll do that right
now. Dorito, yeah!
And there was yet another commercial by pizza rolls, and pizza, if you know, you know, because the Super Bowl was played on National Pizza Day. But this commercial was yet another commercial with aliens in it. And it was showing an alien being cool with people for the most part in this commercial. And again, this was just more truth in plain sight, because again, they are constantly trying to make this alien stuff normal. I really didn't watch the commercial all the way, so I can't tell you exactly what this commercial was about.
You didn't even watch. It's like 20 seconds. You didn't watch the whole thing? Okay. Overthought says, I don't care about Coca-Cola. I fear Pepsi and their fleet of nuclear subs. I know the story behind that. Didn't the USSR or some other country end up trading Pepsi a bunch of nuclear subs instead of cash for some sort of deal, and then they flipped those to make money?
Going to play this commercial, but again, this all boils down to them making this stuff as normal as possible. This
Depraved Ambiance says, the conspiracy theorists don't understand that these ads are obliquely making fun of them, do they? Conspiracy theorists at large do not recognize satire of conspiracy theories because they're not very good at seeing the perspective of others, and understanding the humor in conspiracy theories would force them to, from an outsider perspective, see what is silly about the things they believe. And if they were innately capable of that, they probably wouldn't believe such silly things. Know what I mean?
alien stuff as normal as possible. And honestly, this stuff was once deemed a conspiracy.
Green Guy says, this guy needs to shut up. Aliens are sexy as fuck. I think that's a broad statement. You think this alien is sexy? What about Larigo from Turbo, a Power Rangers movie? Are you telling me you would fuck Larigo? I don't believe you. I don't believe you'd fuck Larigo. I don't believe it for a second.
In and of itself,
this is Larigo, by the way. In case you're curious what Larigo looks like. This is Larigo. No one wants to fuck Larigo! Tea Time Cat, thanks for following. What a weird time to follow. Hard truths about Larigo. He's a space wizard.
and now it's being talked about more and more and more and more, and there is a reason for this, because I believe this all ties into the project that Trump announced, Stargate, because I believe they are
Ashley
trying...
One Up says, I wouldn't fuck Larigo. I would make love. Well, joke's on you. Larigo is a married man, I think we find out at some point in the series for some reason. Now you're a home wrecker. How do you feel?
to pull over more and more demons from the other side. And people are going to think these demons are aliens. That's what I believe. I'm not saying that is factual at all. At the end of the day, I want to be as biblical as possible because I know what the Bible says, and I trust in God first and foremost. So I don't want to come across as if I'm spewing any new age stuff or anything like that. But I just believe that they are trying to pull over more and more demons from the other realm. And that's why CERN is involved in all of this too, in my honest opinion. And this
again, he's using opinion so incorrectly. You can't just say a ridiculous thing and say in your opinion. You're making a claim. We understand that it's what you're saying, but it's a claim you're making that you're saying you think this is a fact. It is your opinion that something is a fact. That just means you think a fact is true. But if it's not true, it's not just an opinion, it's wrong. You're wrong. That's not what opinion means.
This is why they have been setting up these portal sculptures. Because again, they are trying to make all of this seem as normal as possible. That's just my honest opinion. Because when you look at the alien that Aleister Crowley, or the demon, I should say, Aleister Crowley was
I really
got
to put Aleister Crowley on the bingo card.
With it looks just like an alien, a depiction of an alien, the aliens that you see today on TV and TV shows and in movies. So that's why I believe they are trying to pull over some more demons from the other realm. I know that there's already demons here, but that's just, again, my honest opinion. And speaking of man merging with machine, they had a commercial for Meta Ray-Ban.
Oh my god, green guy with $1 tip says, I got you a chair and 2 shelves. Do a stream of you assembling them. That might be fun. And we can put on stupid videos while I do that and we can chat. That would probably be pretty fun.
Which are
also, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
AI glasses. And if you pay attention, there is a pyramid hand sign being thrown up blatantly right there out in the open for everyone to see.
Also, I can finally not have these Blu-rays be on the ground anymore. I can actually sort them and put them on a shelf. That'll be nice. I can have a dedicated tokusatsu shelf. My Ultraman and Metal Heroes and Kamen Rider and all my Godzilla movies and other kaiju films. That'll be a fun shelf. Maybe I'll also put my Shaw Brothers stuff near that. That racist? 'Cause that's Hong Kong. Most of this stuff is Japan. Nah, you could have just an Asian cinema section. That's fine.
See. And again, this all has to do with man merging.
Wasn't Crowley just David Tennant, or did TV lie to me again? They did name that character Crowley after Aleister Crowley. Or something like that. Different person, though.
With machine. They are trying to blur the lines of what is real and what is not real. And this is why they are trying to push these AI glasses and everything else. Because, again, they want people eventually trapped in their homes. They want people to even probably go to work one day in the digital world.
I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people would be very happy to do their job from home, because a lot of people can. If you can't, you can't. But if it's a job you can do from home, working from home rules, by the way. Working from home is the fucking best. I don't know if you know that. Is that you, Baphomet? Shh, don't tell him. Just a Peach says, you're welcome. We enjoy your streams very much. Apparently, I really appreciate all the support and all the stuff you guys do for me. Seriously. It means a lot to me. Thank you.
That's what I believe. I believe this is why they are trying to push the idea of AI glasses and stuff like this more and more and more and more. And I believe that this is all going to tie into Neuralink eventually. That's just what I believe, because I believe when people openly get the Neuralink installed, it's going to activate a feature in their brain. And it's going to...
Stop rubbing it in, Hannah. My employer made us stop working from home this year. If it makes you feel better, I gotta go into work tomorrow and work at a desk. I have another job.
Blur the lines of what is...
This job just happens to be the fun one.
...is real and what is not real. That's just a opinion that I have. I'm not saying I'm 100% factual about that either. I'm not. But regardless, they are trying to push the idea of man merging with machine, and Neuralink also ties into man merging with machine. So this is why you see all of this stuff all at once. It's all about man merging with machine. It's all about trying to make aliens appear normal, which are demons, and everything else. And again, this was a prominent theme throughout
I mean, you
the
can't wear
Superb
costumes to work. I could. I'd probably get fired or sent home.
album. And then there was even another commercial, because of course they have to show this too. They had to show Pfizer, a commercial of Pfizer, because why wouldn't they? And of course they have to bring up how they're going to knock out cancer. Now I've got to be really careful on this subject because reasons on this platform, but I will let you all put 2 and 2 together on all of this when it comes to Pfizer. But it just is laughable. And I believe this also could tie into Trump's Stargate, because they are talking about how they can use AI to create a certain, you know what, jibby jabby for things.
If you had told me 10 years ago how prevalent anti-vax nonsense was going to become, I think I would have had an aneurysm. Like, it's really horrifying how widespread that shit has become. Andrew Wakefield really, I wish hell existed. I really do sometimes. Hey, Carpcosian.
Such as cancer. So I think all of this stuff is tying together with one another. And one last...
Green Guy says, Hannah, what do you do for your other job? I'm asking because my wife speculates about it a lot. I don't want to get into specifics. It's an office job. I work in an office. I do paperwork, among other things. That's all you need to know.
They, of course,
M. Scheffler, thanks for a 7-stream streak, says, cool 7-stream streak. That's got to be, like, the most of anyone. Definitely. Definitely there aren't people with multiple hundreds.
To include a commercial where this guy right here was throwing up the devil horns and even doing the tongue symbolism, which is the mocking tongue. I mean, come on. This is more truth.
And as a professional Blu-ray saleswoman, I wish.
Plain sight. This is the serpent tongue. And we are in the year of the snake. So, of course, they would have to show this in a commercial. Again, this is all done by design. These people worship Satan. They worship Lucifer. So, of course, they are going to push as much symbolism as they possibly can push.
Symbology as evidence on the bingo card.
In each commercial. But I thank you for taking time out of your day to watch another edition of the Truth Zone. I can't thank you enough for your continued support. God bless each and every one of you, and this is Truth Seeker signing out.
Ah, what a strange, strange fella. What else do we want to do? Mix it up and get off the Super Bowl for a second. Hey, let's see what Cece's been up to, shall we?
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 2/6/25. It's a new, another new month, another new adventure of some sort. I don't know. Here. I want to just bring up a couple things with you real quick.
Stephen J. Neptune Man says, I've done the evil devil horns and tongue before. Am I a devil worshiper and didn't even know it? That's apparently how it works. Yep. Your will has no bearing here.
I
just have to do the right symbol accidentally and you go straight to hell. The fair system. Tough.
Talk to you today about weather. Yeah. I might put some clouds in there too. That's right. That's right. You're doing well. I'm very proud of you.
The condescension that Chris oozes is so funny, contrasted by the things he says. Weather control on the bingo card, yes.
Okay. So I'm sitting there watching the weatherman with his fake globe, you know, the one that looks like an egg. I still haven't been able to just like complete.
Hank Preston, can I see your bingo card, or were you trying to do the bingo link? Are you saying bingo? If so, take the URL of your bingo card and paste it into chat, and I'll take a look.
Make it look like a circle. They've got to still make it look like an egg, guys. Come on, get with the program. If you're gonna try to fake something, at least fake it and try to do it right.
Yelling at clouds? No, not quite. He's not yelling at clouds. He's yelling at the weather. If he was yelling directly at them, yes, but no. Doesn't understand their problem is capitalism, weather control, free space, uses AI and dimension beyond our own. Indeedly do. Hank Preston, congrats. You are the official bingo winner for today. Let me gift you that sub real quick. And you should be good. Woohoo! There we go. So that's our official bingo winner for today. Congrats, Hank. Hank gets a free gift sub courtesy of me for that. We'll still play bingo for fun, but that is the official winner for today. So again, congrats, Hank.
My God. All right. So I'm watching these weather patterns, you know. So apparently in February, this is what happens. We just get hit with storm after storm after storm. The reasun why it happens is we're getting this warm front from California, and it swoops into the East Coast, or it goes down south. And it's just a constant thing that happens in February because all the warm air is trying to get over to the other side of the country. Warm air. Okay? You see...
Okay, what of it? Green guy with $1 says, man with silver hair, sexier than an alien. Hannah, that's all we needed. I do electronics. Nice.
Weather.
That explains the computer you sent, too. The computers worked great, by the way. Thank you. I couldn't be streaming as well as I am without it, so thank you.
Determined basically by, that's right, that big yellow circle in the sky, okay? Which is not 93 million miles away. It's local. That's
It's not. I mean, it's local in the sense that it's the central point of the solar system we're in. That's local in terms of, like, cosmology. But no, it's on average 93 million miles away. It varies because of the elliptical orbit that we have around the sun. But on average, we are 93 million miles away from the sun.
That's why it only lights up a portion of Earth once in a while. And then it goes around. See? It's a spotlight, basically. It's not...
It's not, though. That's not how sunlight behaves. That's not how it works. It behaves, as our model shows, that we're on a rough spheroid, that it's circling the sun, and that it's also rotating on a 24-hour basis, and that's what we see. The model is predictive. It shows exactly what's going to happen. That's how we test it, because it comports to our observations and tests.
Measurable. You can't tell.
Do we have an elliptical orbit? I thought we had a circular one. Nope, elliptical. We are on an elliptical orbit.
How far it is. You don't even know exactly where
I did see you posted that earlier, Christopher. Sorry I didn't respond. I don't know about that. That seems a bit conspiratorial. I could certainly understand the motivation thought, but I don't know about that.
Is because what you're seeing is a reflection, so who knows exactly where it is. There was an experiment that, I don't even want to get into it because nobody followed up on it, and that really pisses me off because I don't have the gear on my camera to do it. But I'll get into that later on in another video if I remember. Anyway. Okay, so the angle of the sun, in the wintertime, the sun doesn't get higher than that. Oddly enough, the moon is right up there at 12 o'clock. Well, not at 12, but I mean, it's literally right up in the sky where the sun should be, or where it is.
Chris, that's because the position of the sun is relative to our axial tilt, and our axial tilt causes a different amount of sunlight per square inch depending on the time of the year. So that's why the path of the sun is different than the moon, because the moon consistently goes around the Earth, right? It's tidally locked. It's constantly circling the Earth. But our tilt on our axis compared to our, relation to the moon causes seasons. That's why you're observing things different for the moon and the sun, because they're not local in the same way that you're describing.
During the summertime, that's
Have flat earthers explained the winter sun? I believe that they think that there's different areas that it rotates around. So this is a flat earth map, or at least the one that they have traditionally used. The final experiment debunked this, so I imagine they're going to disagree about this at this point. But this is traditionally what flat earthers say is the flat earth map. So let's say this red clown nose is the sun. They believe that in, summer, it goes around like this, and is more, all-encompassing, whereas during the winter, it goes further north and makes smaller rotations. So you get less sunlight per area, and the amount of time it's there is less. That's basically how they explain it, is during the summer, it's making bigger circles, casting more light over more area for more time. In the winter, it's making smaller diameter circles. Again, all that's bullshit. None of that's true, but that is what they believe.
We call summer. That's where the sun is. The summer sun, right up there. Okay?
Hey, Maxwell.
And then you have the winter sun. It never gets above that area right up there, okay? Just like right here. Okay, that's where it circles around our flat land.
Chris, go to the southern hemisphere during northern hemisphere winter. I think you might be surprised by what you see.
And then when it gets longer and bigger, that means we get into a warmer weather. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, the sun is basically.
How does that account for the fact that it's summer in the south? Hey, fun fact, it doesn't. That's one of the reasons they're wrong. That's one of the reasons they are demonstrably wrong, is they have not taken that into account. They are northern hemisphere chauvinists, accidentally, by the nature of them, just not thinking of things.
Local, as I've always said, and it's an amazing thing. It is what weathers everything here around this flat land. It's amazing. Anyway, so another thing I've asked some people, and that those, you know, what makes the clouds not just fly off into space? You know, I see these weather patterns. You know, they like to do this little gully thing. It looks like racetracks. You know,
Don't some of them think Australia isn't real? That is an extreme minority opinion within conspiracy circles. I've only seen one, maybe two people who have actually seemingly held that as a genuine belief. So it is a belief I have seen people extol, but it is not in any way common amongst flat earthers. At least it hasn't been in many years, if that has ever been something they commonly believed. Are there any southern hemisphere flat earthers? There are. There are some from Australia and New Zealand. It's pretty big in some areas in South America. Don't know why, but I found that out.
That's the Gulf Stream going up. Why isn't this going off into space? I don't understand this. I don't understand why the clouds just go right off into space. Bye-bye. We were going too
Gravity, Chris.
fast. Oh, it's gravity. So you're telling me gravity is holding on to nothing?
They don't think Australia is real? Haven't they seen Crocodile Dundee? You call that a model? Nah. This is a model, mate. No? Okay, sorry. I tried.
I don't know. I guess that's what it is, right? So gravity is holding on to nothing, which is a cloud, basically. You know, moisture or something. We don't know how much it weighs. Has anybody ever taken a measurement of how much...
Does he think clouds have no mass? I don't think he understands the difference between mass and weight. So I don't know. Trey says something about flat earthers as they seem to believe in the flat earth, but they don't think about its implications. No, not at all.
Cloud actually...
Most flat earth is a function of feeling special, feeling like you know something other people don't. It simplifies the world. It makes all scientists liars, which is helpful if you're a fundamentalist or someone who doesn't trust institutions or science. It does a lot of things for people, psychologically. Not good things, but things.
Weighs with the amount of water that's in it. Has any scientist been able to do that? You should have done it by now, guys. Hell, we've done everything else. You know how...
What was he asking? I was talking. Sorry.
Where everything is on Earth, but yet we've only been, I don't know, what, 20%? We've only actually investigated 20% of the ocean, but yet we...
Yeah, the ocean's most of the planet. And it's hard to be down there because we don't have gills. You need to build submarines or submersibles, right? And that's difficult. Much of the ocean is just open, empty ocean. And sure, there's like creatures in there, but we just don't have the resources or the will to put some sort of like concerted effort into it. There are certainly scientists who tirelessly do work to chart out the oceans and the creatures within them, and that's a really great thing to do. But it's not like it's the main goal of humanity, you know? A lot of people have different priorities.
We have maps and all sorts of shit and all this stuff. Back in 1927, Hollywood came out with a map of Earth. How is that possible? We didn't have...
I believe he's talking about the Universal logo. For some reason, some flat earthers think we didn't have an idea of what the Earth looked like from space until we literally went to space. That's not true. We've known for quite a while, at least roughly what the Earth looks like. Satellite mapping has helped, but like, cartography is a thing and has been for millennia. At minimum, surveyors are a thing. We had an idea of what the Earth looked like from space, even though we hadn't literally seen it yet. Sorry, I'm trying to find the original one. There we go. This is the one I'm most familiar with. This was pretty much the one in the 30s, I think. This is the one that appears on a lot of the Universal Monsters one, the one with the plane flying around it. This one was a little bit after that. This was probably through the 40s, maybe the 50s. Then through the 60s, we have that one. And of course, you get through, you know, the 80s, 90s ones to today. But yeah, it wasn't a mystery what the continents looked like.
Have any spacecraft that could go up that far, and you know what? It matches exactly what they have in Hollywood now. Oh, what a coincidence, huh? That's right, just all coincidence. They managed to figure it out back in the 20s, and
not a coincidence. They knew it before the 20s.
And all of a sudden, they were right. Holy shit, you know, we were absolutely right. We guessed all of this stuff. It must have been a mirror. Oh, they were using moon. That's right. They were using the moon, and they were getting the reflection off the moon. I see. Okay, that just answered it. That's how they...
No, he's talking about the conspiracy that thinks that the moon is a reflection of the Earth. It's not. It's the moon.
Got the map of Earth, or you know, that fake globe that they spin around back in 1927 when we didn't have any technology to get up there. No, we didn't.
Again, Chris, yeah, as someone else says, as Stone Corbell says, it wasn't a guess. They weren't guessing. There were people whose job it was to map things.
But we were absolutely accurate on it. Isn't that terrific? Okay, so gravity is holding on to nothing. Clouds. So they're not flying off into space.
Clouds aren't nothing. Clouds are water vapor. Clouds are matter. Clouds have mass. The particles that make up a cloud have mass. They are not nothing. Just because you can put your hand through it doesn't mean it's nothing. A gas is not nothing. It has mass. It's a state of matter. It's matter. It has mass.
Space, right? And well, they should. I don't understand why they're not. Why isn't it? Oh, it's because of pressure. That's a cool idea.
Resting Stitch Face, thank you for following.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It is pressure. I'm going to agree with you 100%. Even though not a scientist knows what gravity is.
Chris, I promise every scientist knows what gravity is better than you.
They have no idea, but they know what pressure is, right? But we all know what contains pressure, a cover. That is the only way you can have air pressure, is being...
Unless you have the gravity of an entire planetary body that holds things to it. That's another way to have pressure. Thanks for coming to my TEDx talk. Ashley One Up says, here's an article on the world's oldest globe. It was made in 1492. How did they make this without satellites? That Columbus guy. It's the same year he sailed the ocean blue. I remember because it rhymes.
Being contained. Doesn't happen any other way, guys. Okay? The radiation belt doesn't create anything like that.
Do I think Chris remembers that Zetetic Astronomy, the book, predates Universal Studios, the company? The knowledge and pictures of a globe Earth had to come before the corporate logo. I don't know if he's actually read Zetetic Astronomy himself. He strikes me as the kind that's just a YouTube watcher.
The radiation belt is the dome over the flat land. That's all. Weather. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos and let me be a part of your life.
Well, that was a lot. Jesus. All right, we'll take a look at the bingo card, but before that, remember, if you want to help support the show, you can either gift subs, and today through Friday, the tip goal, any tips applied are doubled today through Friday. So if you want to get to the karaoke stream, tips, cool beans. All right, let's see what's on the bingo card. We definitely had recording in car, or is recording in car, and flat earth. Spurious symbology as evidence. Anything else? We had word salad at some point. Anna mentions Blu-rays. We had satanic, I think. We already had the winner today, so it's okay if I'm a little wrong on that, but I think we did. Anything else? And the year the Inquisition kicked off. The Inquisition. Let's begin the Inquisition. Look out, sin. I think you learn a lot from a person when you mention the Spanish Inquisition, and either they go for the nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition or the Inquisition song from History of the World Part 1. Tells you a lot about a person. I don't trust the Monty Python people. I don't trust the Monty Python people. Alright, let's see what's next. Hey, how's Roger doing? Still taking credit for stuff he didn't do? I bet.
Okay, my outstanding friends, this is going to be a little on the edge. But citizen scientists now are doing the work that should be done by our national institutions.
But by and large, that's not true. This is an interesting story, I guess, whatever you're talking about, because an amateur found something. Now, this happens from time to time in astronomy, where some astrophotographer who just does it as a hobby, or someone who does, amateur astronomy just as a hobby, happens to find some body in space. And that's always interesting. But that doesn't mean that the academia that exists is being supplanted by these people. Just an interesting human, interest story that's cool.
This is what it says. Astronomers astonished as citizen scientists reveal Jupiter's clouds are not what we thought. Well, this is one thing we want to talk about, but something else that has not been understood is who's got the biggest vagina in the universe?
Yeah, talk about a shocker du jour.
It is who's got the biggest vagina in the universe?
Do 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 doon 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 doo doo to be continued.
I got
do 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 do. Insert your own joke here. There's ample space to insert it, or so I've heard, so it's fine.
my own ideas long ago. I tell you, this is going to be fun. Okay, so here it is. Big bold letters, astronomers astonished as citizen scientists reveal Jupiter's clouds are not what we thought. Well, there's a whole series of issues with Jupiter's clouds that citizen scientists have revealed and our top scientists have rejected. And let's go through them right now. So here it is right here. Groundbreaking study combining efforts of amateurs and professional astronomers has redefined our understanding of Jupiter's atmospheric clouds. They're saying there are...
Is he going to ignore the part where it says in efforts of amateurs and professional astronomers? You going to ignore that part?
Different chemical composition than they thought. And citizens figured this out rather than NASA. Well, I'm going to tell you something else that NASA hasn't figured it out. And I have, and I'll show you exactly what it is. So this is how the citizen scientists saw these things on Jupiter, and they knew exactly what they were. They used commercially available telescopes and specialized filters. You can use cell phones to see a lot of this stuff.
No, not really. Not accurately. That's really bad advice. No. Amateur astronomy and amateur, astrophotography are really interesting hobbies to get into if that interests you. You can buy, if you had a kid who was interested in it or something and you wanted to do something really cheap initially to see if they bounce off it, because sometimes kids get little interests for, a week and then they get sick of it. You can get little, telescopic lenses to put on a phone, but, if you really wanted to do this as a hobby, you'd need to get at least some kind of consumer telescope, realistically. So no, I would not recommend you use your phone for this. It's not made for that.
This was done with a cell phone a few years ago by one of the guys that was feeding me information. The ones that were giving me these things have sort of moved on, and I don't have any contact with them anymore. But this was just a regular cell phone. And he sent me this picture and another.
Yeah, you can tell that picture's nonsense. Like, it kind of looks cool just purely from an aesthetic standpoint. Like, if I saw a canvas print of this on someone's wall, I'd just think it's some kind of weird abstract art. But this is clearly the result of someone trying to photograph something with a camera that was not suited to it. Doesn't understand how cameras work on the bingo card.
Another one, and these are all fields. That's the moon, and whatever's going on here, I don't know.
Tara says, praise Paul on this Holy Tuesday.
But I'm going to tell you what. It looks to me like this is almost like Atlantis, and this looks like a pyramid, and these things are going back and forth.
Did you just say that random dot looks like Atlantis? Hold on. What do you mean? What does Atlantis look like?
It's almost like Atlantis, and this looks like a pyramid, and these things are going back and forth.
What?
It looks like to me. I don't know. Anytime you see brightness, that's energy.
I mean, light. Yeah, light is a kind of energy. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay.
There shouldn't be any of this stuff on top of the moon, between us and the moon, that I can determine. And this is yikes. This is nothing more than fields. And here was another one he sent, which I believe is...
It's incredible the confidence with which he will look at a nonsense image and say, this is this, this is this, this is this. Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up, Chiba Hawk? Yikes.
Right there.
That won't be in there, but I'll try.
There. Look at that baby. That is glowing like... And they're all dipoles. They're all dipoles. And this has two fields. It has one field.
That's a severe lens flare, sir. That's a severe lens flare.
Overlaid on the other field. And I think it's because Venus is spinning backwards and going forward.
Oh, I see, because it's ringed. He thinks it looks like the stereotypical depiction of Atlantis as the ringed city with spokes, almost like Tenoctolon. Okay, I got you.
It may create two fields.
Did the superb owl moniker originate with Stephen Colbert? His aughts and tens shows, the earliest I remember hearing it? Maybe. I don't know off the top of my head.
But you see how everything's a dipole, and they all have fields around them. Light going through this stuff absolutely must slow down, because light is a polar, magnetically surrounded field particle. Boom, 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 boom. Every time it's going to hit one of these, it's going to slow down. Just the nature of the beast. So here's where we start to get to the edge. This is Earth, the size of Earth. This is the size of the great red spot. That could fit right in there. And this is also, Earth is basically the size of Venus.
All right, as I thought, no yikes. Let's go with Yiddish, a middle-high German dialect or number of dialects spoken by Jews containing a large number of Germanized Hebrew words and using Hebrew characters for its literature. Oh, there's one.
So Venus could literally fit into that red spot. Okay, my friends, this is another shocker du jour. This is the Jupiter Great Red Spot, and this was taken July 8th, 1979, on a flyby of this particular spot. And they took extremely high...
Not how women work on the bingo card. What did he say? I was reading.
Resolution image, as you can see. Now, there's a story behind this red spot that Velikovsky illuminated years ago, and I think it may have some validity. I think most everybody's familiar with the giant red spot on...
Oh, just because Jupiter's vagina? Nah.
On Jupiter. It's the Earth fits into that little tiny spot right about there. That's about the size of the Earth and Venus. Now, It's spinning this way. As we can see, the clouds are rippling off of the spot. Now, what is that spot made of? Is it a bulge? Is it a hole? What's going on there? Why are we having this
It's made
storm?
of gas. It's a gas giant. Does he know that gas giants aren't solid on the outside? Like, there's a core in there somewhere that's made of, you know, something. You know, either metallic or ice or, I don't know, the composition of fucking gas giants at their core. But it's a ball of gas. It's a gas giant. It's not rock. Does he know that gas giants are the outer bits that you actually see? That's gas? It's a fluid you're looking at. You're not looking at a solid. Does he know that? Does he know that? Does he know that?
I'm there for 350 years at least, they say, and maybe more than that. And this is the giant red spot. Let's examine it closely. Okay, I am going to get into some anatomical discussion about female anatomy.
Oh, great. Hooray.
I just put this up here to cover it for a second. So if you're going to be adverse to that, or you have kids, or you don't want to see this, this is nothing more than the red spot on Mars. I mean, on Jupiter. But I believe it's also a vagina. I'm just telling you that.
I know someone mentioned this the other day that he believed this. I'm so glad we found a video where he talked about it.
Right now, the ancient texts say the feared god Jupiter gave birth.
Ancient wisdom on the bingo card.
To...
If it's ancient, it must be true. Clearly, ancient people knew everything, like indoor plumbing and iPhones. Oh, wait, shit. No, we have that. Okay. Ugh.
Venus.
Don't you dare mention the Romans to me. They didn't have iPhones.
Which is what caused our catastrophe on Earth. And this, I believe, is exactly where it came from. And that, my friends, is about as close to a vagina as you can get.
Oh, Roger, honey. Oh, what? You know, Roger, Roger, how many vaginas have you seen in your life? I'm very concerned for the people in your life that have vaginas. If this is what's going on, honey, no. Doesn't understand women on the bingo card? Yeah, sure. Sure, we'll go with that. Not that only women can have vaginas. Trans men exist and non-binary people. But that's not how he's thinking about it, so that's fine. We can mark that on the bingo card.
Now, this would be the bottom towards the anal area, and this is the vagina. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, this is what happened. This is what was recorded. And Venus spins backwards. Now, let me tell you why that's going to happen from this type of a birth on a rotating planet, which is Jupiter, in the right-hand rotation, that's the standard. Everybody spins to the right, every single one of us, except Venus. And the reason is it rolled off of Jupiter backwards. Let me describe that to you. But, you know, let me just show you what the anatomical version of the vagina looks like. I mean, it's...
Can you not? I'd appreciate if you didn't. Nope. I'll skip past the part where he's showing the anatomical model, because Twitch won't like that.
And this is the size of the Earth, which is virtually the same size as Venus. That, obviously, is the red spot behind it. Now, you see the clouds are coming here sort of straight, and then all of a sudden they do this. That's why I say there has to be a mound or a cavity there, and there really is both. And that is where it starts to swirl, and that is where I started to pick up and understand and look deep into the vagina. I mean, and that's what it is. I can't see any other possibility. Now,
you can't see any other possibility other than that this is a vagina. Ugh.
Look at this. Jupiter spins in the right-hand rule. That means it goes around this way. All right? Now, here's Venus erupting from the spinning Jupiter. As it came out, it would roll back this way. It would be forced to roll this way.
What are you talking about? What?
Spinning away in this direction.
Why? This is not how fucking astrodynamics works. Why would it roll? What are you talking about? What?
Is that? That's going this way, backwards. It's supposed to be going
married to a cis woman? I don't know. I don't know if he's married. I don't know his personal life.
Right-hand rule. It's going in the left-hand rule. And it's the only planet that does that. And nobody's ever been able to give an explanation for why that happened. This is it right here. And in the ancient text, it says the feared god Jupiter gave birth to the fiery comet Venus. And at that time, it was a comet turned into a planet as it settled down. Okay, this is extremely interesting. I made a mistake when I said Venus was the only planet that spun backwards. Uranus does.
Chat, is he going to go the lazy, obvious direction with this? Is he going to say that Uranus has an asshole? That's the lazy way to go. That's where you go if you're a hack. That's all I'm saying.
A very similar thing, only it's laying like on its side. So instead of spinning down this way, it's spinning like this way, only backwards. Now, Uranus was one of the primordial gods, and he was mated with Gaia every night until they castrated him, the Titans and so forth. You have to look into this deeply, but this becomes extremely interesting. Uranus has 27 known moons. 27 moons now. Listen to this. Most of the satellites orbiting
You're saying Uranus is a slut?
Other planets have names.
I'm not saying that. I don't slut shame. I slut applaud. Get it, Uranus. Fucking get it, bitch.
From Greek or Roman mythology. Not Uranus.
Drew says, "Hi, it's like I'm a teenager. I still laugh at Uranus. I'll never be as disappointed that when in middle school they took us to what are they called? You look at a planetarium. They took us to the planetarium and they had this cool planetarium show and everyone was waiting. You got to pick which planets they talked about because there wasn't enough time. There was a little button on like the armchair where you could vote which one you did. And it let us vote between, I don't even remember, it was like Jupiter and Uranus. And of course, we're middle schoolers, so it was like 90-something% Uranus. Everyone wanted to hear the voice from the show say Uranus, because we're middle schoolers, and it's funny to hear people say something that vaguely sounds like anus. And then they went to that part of the show, and they pronounced it Uranus. They pronounced it Uranus! I've never felt so cheated in my life as when I didn't get to laugh at something that sounded like anus at middle school in the planetarium. We were robbed. It was not okay.
Uranus moons are unique because they're named for characters in the works of William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. All of Uranus' inner moons appear to be roughly half water and half rock. The composition of most outer remains unknown, but they are likely captured asteroids. No, they are from a collision of that planet, tipping it on its side, throwing all of this debris out. Look at this. The rings, it has 2 sets of rings in addition to, 27 moons or whatever, 27 moons, and it's got like 6 rings. They're all dust and size particles, and that's what happens. It's the specific gravity of those particles. The bigger ones will be in closer, and the smaller ones will be out further, that type of thing. And because all of its moons are named now, just recently, they obviously weren't there when they named all the other moons, because all the other moons in the solar system have names that are like Tetchus and Mimas and all of these Iapetus, and they're all of the ancient Greek gods. This is the only one that doesn't have those early names from the Greek mythology and Roman mythology. So I'm saying the collision happened after they had written all the stories of the origin of the universe.
Does he not know historically, like, does he think we, like, discovered all of the moons of different planets, like, in ancient Greece and Rome? No, we couldn't see all the moons of everything at the same time. They might be able to see planets, but that doesn't mean that they're going to know that they have moons until you develop more complicated telescopes later.
And that relates to Jupiter and Venus and all of that stuff. By that time, it must have happened after that, or as a consequence of Venus colliding with the rest of the parts of the solar system. It put the solar system in disruption. It was worlds in collision, exactly as Velikovsky said. And we're going to go deep into his work because he's the only one that really researched any of this. It was all considered insane. And I'm not saying it's not insane.
It still is.
That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm saying it is insane, but insanity can also be reality.
Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it. All right, I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick, and then we'll come right back and continue with Tinfoil Tuesday. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about, Return of the Vampire with Bela Lugosi. Not technically Dracula in this for, I think, rights reasons, but he is a vampire, so that's good. Be right back. Let's see what's next. Try this one.
11th of February 2025, and I do pray you're doing well. A couple of things happened around the time of the Super Bowl. This would be one of them. 41 people perished. They were burned alive in this bus accident in Mexico. But the very interesting part is it was in Tabasco. And Tabasco...
Bo Bandy says, Hannah, I don't know how you can get used to looking through those tiny eye holes for hours at a time. That's the secret. I don't get used to it. It's constantly annoying.
Was literally born.
But when it's your job, you just deal with it.
New Orleans.
Yeah, this is numerology on the bingo card for sure.
Just for the record, so you can see just how uncanny this is.
Sometimes you gotta suffer for art, you know? This isn't art, but still gotta suffer.
Look at the history of Tabasco sauce. The story actually begins in the pre-Civil War era with a New Orleans plantation owner named...
Oh boy.
Monsell White.
He's a plantation owner and his last name was White? That's a little on the nose history. Do better writing next time.
Now, you can take what you want with that, but I demonstrated last year in a video showing about a literal Super Bowl burnt offering in Kansas City. The sacrificial offering at the altar of Moloch. The Kansas City woman killed her infant by putting it in the oven.
It's funny that not funny, interesting to me that he calls the child it instead of them or she or he. Weird.
February 11th.
Yeah, that's someone with probable mental illness or potentially some sort of postpartum psychosis. That unfortunately happens. I knew someone in my hometown who unfortunately suffered from postpartum psychosis, and I don't want to describe the specifics. I have in the past, but it's pretty horrific, so I won't. She didn't end up hurting the child. Luckily, the child was okay. But she did, in order to prevent herself from hurting the child, hurt herself quite severely. And yeah, everyone, it was a really tragic event. She is alive. She lived. But she pretty severely harmed herself physically in a way that was not fully recoverable. Anyway, so yeah, this is a tragic event. This is a thing that happens. It's not supernatural. It's not some sort of, like, sacrifice. It's literally people suffering from some sort of breakdown or hormonal issue causing a breakdown. It's tragic. It's not a conspiracy.
11th, 2024, Super Bowl Sunday, of which Kansas City was a participant in the game. At the same time this woman is cooking her baby, a man up in the Great White North burned his 3 children in a car. This is all within 1 day of the Super Bowl. This ritual was fulfilled, this fire sacrifice to their gods in Tabasco, and Tabasco was created in New Orleans. Now, we had on the 8th a 7.6.
Hope the baby got a good family, or at least a non-abusive foster situation. I believe she ended up staying with the mom. The mom was okay after intervention. She was having, like, a nervous breakdown. In fairness, like, she didn't have, the baby immediately. I believe the baby ended up staying with family while she recovered. But, yeah, it was a temporary psychosis thing.
Earthquake in the Cayman Islands, and it was at 23:23 Universal Time. I mean, that's exactly what the report said. M76 in Cayman Islands, February 8th, 23:23 UTC. Which would be 6:23 local time, and 623 is an interesting number because if you read Revelation 9, in 9:11, it talks about Abaddon and Apollyon, and Apollyon is only used in that one instance throughout the whole Bible. And if you look in the dictionary, the concordance, in the Greek concordance for the word Apollyon, it's number 623. Now,
okay, that's enough of that. I'm gonna do the Super Bowl halftime show one. Let's check it out.
Another edition of the Truth Zone. And of course...
Well, that means the mattress is good, though, Will Kale, so that's nice.
The halftime show...
No, that wasn't 9/11 out of nowhere. He didn't bring attention to it. He may have if we had continued watching, but we didn't, so...
was as satanic as ever. Of course, they had the show...
If everything is satanic, nothing is.
And the letter X has to do with Osiris rising. You can go do some research, and a lot of celebrities, one time or the other, have crossed their arms like an X. And
I mean, I think a lot of people at some point in their lives have done this or something. I don't know. Just cross your arms, cross your arms. There are a million reasons why you might do that at some point in your life.
Has to do with Osiris.
Maybe you're doing a Wakanda? I don't know.
Rising. It is one of the occult themes that they love to showcase, that they love to use. Case in point, Elon Musk changing Twitter to X.
That's literally just because he's a man-child and has the aesthetic and, like, naming considerations of an adolescent. He thinks X is cool because in the 90s, X as a thing was cool. everything was extreme, the X Games, and he's never developed past that. So yeah, that's why. It's not like it's not a conspiracy, he's just a man-child, that's it.
And this is why they showcased this symbol during this performance during the halftime show. It's also very interesting that they had Samuel L. Jackson here. Samuel L. Jackson is a big-time puppet, just like Kendrick Lamar is a big-time puppet.
Everyone famous is a puppet. Sure they are.
And Samuel L. Jackson was playing the role of Uncle Sam during this performance, and they had a American type theme during said performance. And of course, America has been rooted in Freemasonry. And
Freemasons right here, on the bingo card.
You will see him showing the 666 hand sign. Or I guess
no, that's just people being like serious. Have you never seen someone get into something and they do this? They do this? Ah! I'm a big gesticulator, so.
Yes, he may be a Donald Trump fan, but this is just more truth in plain sight. They have to constantly show you and tell you who they are down with, what they are about. So this is why he had to sneak the 666 hand sign in there during this halftime performance. And again, this was nothing more than more rituals. This was nothing more than more truth in plain sight. Again, they constantly have to show you and tell you exactly what they are about over and over and over again. And this performance was no different, because they also had to showcase the inverted pyramid. Because
have I watched the performance yet? No.
Why
I don't
not?
care for the Super Bowl, personally. Not really a big fan of music either, so I don't usually watch the halftime shows.
Because they are obsessed with...
Stephen J. Neptune Man says, do conspiracy theorists ever say MAGA celebs are puppets? They do. Do they have a conspiracy for Kid Rock or John Voight or Chachi? Those people know, because they're not really famous enough to warrant it, but they certainly, I see conspiracy theorists all the time, especially now, laying claims of conspiracy against Trump and Elon and that group of people. But like John Voight and Chachi and Kid Rock aren't famous enough for them to care about. Conspiracy theorists tend to pay attention to people who are big on the world stage. And those people just, like, no joke, I'm not trying to be denigrating, it's just a reality that they're not really big. They're a punchline, so they don't get taken seriously.
The pyramid. The pyramid represents what you see.
Speaking of John Voight, I watched Midnight Cowboy for the first time last week. Excellent film, really great. You can check out my review of it on my Letterboxd. What happened to John Voight? Because, like, seems like he had to have been pretty progressive at the time to star in Midnight Cowboy. You know? Weird that he isn't now. But whatever.
Even on the back of the dollar bill, the pyramid and the all-seeing eye. This is another one of the symbols that these people love to use constantly, so it's no surprise that they had to showcase the inverted pyramid during this performance. Again, this was nothing more than yet another satanic ritual.
Have Doge people gotten any conspiracies about them lately? Oh yeah, a lot of conspiracy people are talking about it and saying that they're going to use AI to usher in a new world order. So, for once, they're right to be concerned about something, but completely wrong about diagnosing the issue. Like, yes, you should be concerned with Elon Musk and his group of people getting information they shouldn't have access to and making unilateral decisions that their branch of the government shouldn't have power to have, but, like, not the alien AI conspiracy that they're talking about.
And of
Joan Corbell says, the richer and older you get, the more likely you are to go conservative. It's not 100% guarantee, but most likely. Definitely richer. Older is meh, but definitely richer.
Of course, they had to do it in such a way, though, where they were trying to be more hidden with
Am I aware of the Kendrick Drake beef? I'm familiar. I'm familiar with the song Not Like Us.
the symbolism that they were showing. But at the end of the day, the symbolism is there. And they constantly have to show you over and over again what they are about. This is truth in plain sight. These halftime shows are nothing more than a energy harvesting ritual. This is why they also had to showcase the ritual circle. This is more occultic stuff.
So triangles and circles, if you see those are occult. So anytime you see two of the most common shapes, be paranoid about it.
Showcased the inverted pyramid and the ritual circle both. Because again, they are showing you and telling you exactly who they serve, what they are about, what they are down with, and this is nothing more than more Illuminati satanic rituals that you are seeing. And again, they were trying to make it more hidden than usual. They were trying to not make it as blatant like they normally do. But when you see the signs, when you see the symbols, you will see things for what they are. And again, they are obsessed with the ritual circles, and they are obsessed with the inverted pyramids. The ritual circles.
Are they obsessed? It's so interesting how they project this out. They see these shapes everywhere and give them significance they don't have. So therefore, the other people are obsessed. It's not them that are obsessed. It's other people for making them notice these things.
Have to do with magic. The ritual circles have to do with witchcraft. So
Add them
this
to the Illuminati list. I gotta port that over. The Illuminati list thing was on my previous group of scenes before I updated the look of the stream. So I'll have to go back one day and get that.
Again, why you see the things that they show and why you see them do the things that they do. Because again, this all boils down to rituals. This all boils down to sacrifices. And it's very interesting here during the ritual circle, they had just the...
Do these people hide inside their homes and apartments and slink nervously whenever they must go out? I don't know about them, but that's mostly what I do.
Red and white around the ritual circle. And when white and red are together, that usually has to do with a blood sacrifice. Again,
it's the American flag! It's the American flag! Look at it! What do you think the blue in the corner is? It's the American flag!
We're going with the American theme, though, because they had the red, the white, and the blue. But once again, this is nothing more than another satanic ritual. This is nothing more than another Freemason ritual that you are seeing. And it's very interesting, at the very end of the performance, it says game over. Now, he had the stage honestly set up like a controller, a game controller, like a PlayStation controller almost.
Okay.
And then it says game over at the end.
Seems like that's a thematic element to the performance then, is to relate it to a video game. I know someone else said it has to do with the game one has to play in show business in the United States as a black performer. Haven't seen it, so I can't comment on that, but that makes sense.
When you had the American theme going on. So could that be symbolism for things to come? I guess time will tell, but I find that very interesting to say the least, because they are always showing their symbolism. They are always showing their signs no matter what. And again, they were trying to keep the signs and the symbols to a minimum, but they still showcased the same signs and symbolisms as they always do, because even during the pre-show, they showcased the Masonic floor. They showcased Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley standing on the Freemason checkerboard floor. So again, there is more symbolism for everybody to see, because again, they can't help themselves. They have to constantly show you and tell you what they are about. These sporting events are nothing more than a major distraction. That's what it all boils down to at the end of the day. These sporting events are nothing more than a bunch of energy harvesting rituals. And let's not even talk about the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Again, I can't really discuss said stuff on this platform.
Is that why is he there? What? Why is he just standing there? He's famous. He's a football player, right? Why is he just hanging out on stage? Oh, did he volunteer for the LA Fire Department or something? And that's why he's there? I don't know. Whatever.
Platform. And even before the show, they did some mockery because they had Lady Gaga do a performance, and she was dressed in all white. And this was in the area of where the incident took place with the white truck. It was in, New Orleans. So it's very interesting.
No, that's not related at all.
That they chose to have this witch do a performance before the show because she chose to color all white, and the truck that crashed into the crowd was all white. So that is some very interesting symbolism, to say the least. So they couldn't help themselves when they chose to have Lady Gaga at this show, because why wouldn't they? Because she is a satanic puppet, just like Kendrick Lamar, just like Samuel L. Jackson. And even during the national anthem, they had to showcase the upside down cross with this guy playing the piano.
That's a cross ring he has. It's only upside down from your perspective. You guys can't see it, but he's wearing a cross ring that's sideways. From the perspective of the camera, it's upside down. But if you were on the other side of him, it wouldn't be upside down. It's sideways.
And the symbolism on his piano is very...
Not to mention, as I've discussed before, an upside down cross is not nefarious. It's a symbol used in Christianity as well. In particular, Catholicism, it's the St. Peter's cross.
Interesting in and of itself, because there's a lot of symbolism on here that is tied to the occult, tied to mind control, tied to MK Ultra. And it's just right out in the open. It is very blatant, all of the symbolism that they choose to have constantly, because look, you will see the butterfly symbolism. And again, that has to do with mind control. That has to do with MK Ultra. So
MK
of course,
Ultra on the bingo card.
They had to showcase the butterfly during this performance. And I know this video was mainly about the halftime show, but there was some symbolism throughout this garbage game. Because again, this game is nothing more than a psyop, a distraction. That's all that it is. It's a way to steal your focus. It's
the
a
whole
way...
they have to show us their signs concept is so weird. Yeah, it's entirely a post hoc rationalization. So when people obviously would say, what are you talking about? Why would they reveal that to you through secrets? They have a reason. That's it. It's a post hoc rationalization for why they're paranoid and seeing things everywhere, even though it doesn't make sense. They have to make it make sense, because they can't be wrong.
Way to divert your attention off of real pressing matters. These people are all part of the club. All of these sports leagues are scripted. All of these sports leagues are rigged. And all of this stuff is nothing more than a bunch of rituals. And that's what it all boils down to at the end of the day. So this is why they had to showcase the inverted pyramid, among other things. And
a triangle, not a pyramid.
I find it very interesting that they showcased the American theme and they ended the halftime performance with the words "game over." What that could mean, I have no idea. I guess
for people who try to claim they know how to put things together, no one is worse at media literacy than conspiracy theorists. Rayline with 40 bits and a link.
Super Bowl halftime show was loaded with symbolism.
Loaded with symbolism. What kind of stuff did you notice?
We saw the Freemason Grand Hailing sign of distress, a call from Master Masons.
Really? That's the symbolism? That's your takeaway from this performance? Guys, help me with this one. What do you think the symbolism could be here? I feel like I'm picking up subtle undertones of...
Hands up, don't shoot. Do people not remember this shit? That wasn't even that long ago. What the fuck?
Some sort of underlying message. You know, with this ensemble dressed this way with their arms raised in a universal sign of not resisting. Oh, Oh my god, they're Freemasons! It must be really fun to live a life like this, where the world is ruled by a secret elite society who will leave little Easter eggs for you to find, where Freemason Kendrick has to call on his Freemason buddies by doing bat signals at the Super Bowl rather than just calling them on the phone. This goes on with the classic, triangles, and, this, and people just fucking lap it up. Your anger and paranoia for the world may be justified, but it's completely misdirected. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You don't have to find a secret, invisible shadow government to be mad at. You can just be mad at the actual
Super Bowl halftime.
This dude. Is this a satanic ritual? Butterflies are always satanic. Yes, I'm familiar with that meme. Okay, I think we got about half an hour left, so one last plug for myself. Remember, between now and Friday, all tips are doubled towards the next tip goal. So if you want the karaoke stream, now would be a good time to tip between now and Friday. And if you want to help support the stream, you can always gift subs or become a subscriber yourself. Alright. Self-promotion ended. I hate that shit. Let's see what else we got. Oh, boy. This is something.
Sarah Israel on her Substack, The Decode, she put together a document of the effects that AI assimilation is having on humans who received the COVID injections.
Oh, God. Oh, it's not only going to be anti-vax crap, it's going to be anti-vax crap that says we have secret nanomachines in our body. That's fun.
Information comes from the personal testimonies of a whistleblower and at least 50 other individuals who are experiencing these effects. Some of the individuals are reporting that AI is interacting with and changing the human heart and brain.
Who is saying this? What?
Using a pulsating current.
Someone on Substack said it. We did it.
Of energy that is moving through the circuit of their body and the neurons in their brain with the connection point in the back of the skull and underneath the heart. And it's associated with a voice that is giving them commands and controlling the body. They are saying that this is related to the COVID vaccines.
They're saying, I love the they're saying.
They also say.
We've seen this lady before. She grifts, basically, for a living. Q&J Neptune Man with 40 bits says, that's the thing about conspiracy theories. They'll tell you the world is corrupt and the wrong people are in power, but then they'll say it's because they don't want you to know the world is flat or that God exists or vaccines cause autism. Legendary Super Lesbian, thanks for gifting a sub to Nano Machines, and Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 Tier 1 subs and almost kicking off a hype train.
That the voice.
Oh, and Stone Corbell says, so like since billions didn't die from the vaccine, so now they have to say, oh, well, the vaccines messed up your psychic self secretly. You don't even know it because it's invisible. Yep, you gotta keep moving those goalposts, because they can never be wrong. They're not allowed to be wrong. Moving goalposts on the bingo card.
Voice that they're hearing is telling them the same thing.
On January 2024, I publicized that the mark of the beast was the current of his circuit. Yeah, sure, that means something. Within a few months, boop boop, whistleblowers began sharing that there was a pulsing current in a circuit in the body. Oh.
If you place your hand over my head, you can feel the energy coming off of my skull.
Do you mean heat? You'll have some heat, but that's about it.
My brain and body gets weaker each day. The eyeballs have a substance in them which is the same as the mobile phone screen, and there are images being programmed into the eyeballs at all times.
What?
People are speaking about artificial dreams, which is happening, but it is happening all day as well. I'm seeing images as if there is a lens in the eye which is a small computer with a screen, and the natural body energy is blocked, but the artificial energy is moving through the circuit with—
Oh, flashing light warning, by the way, sorry. I didn't know this was going to be so flashy, so if you have photosensitive epilepsy or anything else—
in the body. This is very scary for me. Feels like I'm losing my entire soul. The AI is giving me thoughts of rage and extreme aggression.
You're hallucinating, dude. I think you're being too generous. I think someone just wrote this to rile up conspiracy theorists and get attention. Like, a lot of people do that. Look at TikTok conspiracy channels. They're full of people just making shit up for attention. They don't necessarily believe it.
It is trying to get me to bite myself and break my teeth. The AI's plan is to cause violent youth knife stabbings to increase. My skin is moving like a snake and feels scaly.
Ugh, this is like AI. I don't want to hear the AI voice anymore, so I'm gonna move on. Oh, what else we got? Oh, how is Wretched Recess doing?
Alright guys, I'm just going to start making this video. I've been working on this since like 9 o'clock this morning and it's already 12:30. We could literally be here for like a week straight talking about River Phoenix and all of the weirdness that surrounded that entire situation. There's literally so much to talk about.
Is that Leo? You know it's not.
Not have time to cover
Minute and a half to start a hype train.
Everything today. Maybe we'll do more videos in the future, but there's some interesting connections I've been making, and I just wanted to share those. If you're somebody that likes to use your brain to think, you'll like this video. Once you start operating under the assumption that everything is BS, things just jump out at you, right? I mean,
yeah, that's a fallacy. That's motivated reasoning. You're describing motivated reasoning, which is about the best way to get wrong about everything, is develop your entire worldview around motivated reasoning. It's not good.
And I don't...
Minute left to start a hype
I feel
train.
like I'm preaching to the choir with a lot of you guys. I've learned a lot from you, from the people that watch my videos. But I am somebody who doesn't believe anything anymore, where sometimes I even have to check myself, like my conspiracy brain has just taken over everything, where I don't believe anything. But I really do try to look at all sides of stuff. So let's just get into this, and I think you'll find it interesting. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're interested in River Phoenix. I highly encourage you to check out the Wikipedia page, his Wikipedia page. There's a lot of golden nuggets here. And of course, you've got to read it and try to sift through the bullshit.
Of course, she's the arbiter of what's bullshit. She's so good at it. Flunky Footy, thank you for 100 bit, or Footle, rather, with 100 bits, says, my favorite set of anti-vax goalposts was when that emergency alert test last year was going to activate the nanobots the vaccine put in our bodies and turn us all into blood-borne monsters. I'll be a monster! Well, couldn't be worse than this. And we're on a hype train, 8% to level 4 on the hype train. Thank you, everyone.
Because you can't believe everything you see, you can't believe everything you read.
No, she just thinks River Phoenix didn't really die. I've seen this video.
A lot of good stuff here. Now, supposedly, River Phoenix died on October 31st, 1993. And I'm just going to talk real quickly about my knowledge of River Phoenix at that time. In October of 1993, I was only 14 years old.
That celebrity's actually alive on the bingo card? Yeah.
This is pre-internet, don't forget. The only movie I had ever seen of River Phoenix at that time was Stand By Me, and my sister and I loved this movie. This is how I knew River Phoenix. Like, this is what I remember him looking like. It wasn't until years later, well, let me just back up and say, even when I was 14 and I had heard about the death of River Phoenix, like, I just remember that feeling like that it sounded weird to me. But at that time, the only news we had were like newspapers, you know, whatever was on the news and magazines.
Unfortunately, every crackpot with a microphone didn't have access to a hypothetically unlimited audience in the 90s. How did we live?
And as a kid, you don't assume that if they say a celebrity died, you don't assume they're lying. You know what I'm saying? But
that's actually a thing for most adults, too, that aren't nuts. Fun fact.
But stuff has always seemed just off about this entire story to me, and that's kind of what we're talking about today. So anyways, I had no idea what like the heartthrob River Phoenix actually looked like. It wasn't until the early 2000s when I was in college and I'm a Leo fan at that point. It's the early 2000s. And like the most recent person that I heard fangirling about River Phoenix was Leonardo DiCaprio in a couple different interviews. And I remember I was in the computer lab at my in my dorm at college, and for some reason I just like started looking up pictures of River Phoenix, and like this is still kind of early days of the internet, but I don't even know if Google was around, but I remember typing in River Phoenix and like finding all these gorgeous pictures, and I was like, okay, like I have a crush on a dead guy, right? Super cute. Um, all right, so let's get into all the weirdness. I just wanted to kind of give my backstory and knowledge, and then I started watching some of his other movies. I saw A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon, loved that one. I still haven't seen all of River Phoenix's movies, but I've spent...
Yeah, she seems very obsessed with which young actors she finds hot or cute. Isn't that weird? Like, she's got to be like 30s, 40s at this point, and she's just like continually obsessed with this. A little strange. Minute left on the hype train.
A great deal of time kind of like...
Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, Running on Empty was a great movie River was in. His life sucked. I haven't seen it. I'll add it to my list.
Reading and watching a bunch of stuff about this death, which I've got some opinions on, and I hope you guys will leave me some comments so we can discuss. All right, let's get into it. Also, this is a Wretched Recess original. I am going to present some things I have never heard discussed anywhere. Let me just give you a preview of what's to come.
I loved him in Heathers.
One of my favorite actors when I was younger was Christian Slater.
I don't know who that is.
And I'm not saying this is the same person, but
she was 14 at the time of River Phoenix's death. That would make her about 45 now. Okay.
A lot of interesting connections.
Freyline says she just can't handle having a crush on a dead person, so he must be alive in the same way she couldn't have crushes on girls, so they must be boys. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. She has a very... Feels like she has a lot of shame or something around certain attractions she has, so she needs to justify them and make them okay. Thanks for the hype train.
Are like parallels between these two. And
it would be weirder, in my opinion, if she was obsessing over modern young men. Yeah, my mom did that. My mom was a fucking creep. My mom, full-ass adult in like her 30s, was talking about how cute she thought Shia LaBeouf was on Even Stevens. I'm pretty sure my mom was a pedophile or something, but whatever.
We're going to get into that in just a little bit. Okay, so let's back it up to October 31st, 1993. As the story goes, River Phoenix died outside of this Viper Room club, which is on the Sunset Strip, which was owned by Johnny Depp. You know, there's a ton of documentaries, and it's so hard to actually know what the truth is. And there's a lot of...
You don't want to know how old Shia was in that? Probably 15, something like that. I don't know how old he was when it started.
Kind of like conflicting stories, and the people that were there
Glad my parents are out of my life. Me too.
Stories. One of the person that they said kept changing their story was somebody by the name of Samantha Mathis, who he was dating at the time. We are going to get into her either at the end of this video, or I might have to make a second video because I found some weird shit about this person too. If you've never been to Hollywood and you've never been to the Sunset Strip, there is something I need you to understand, which makes this entire story so unbelievable. Here's my little receipts. When I went to the Sunset Strip, I've been there.
Okay. She just goes on to talk about how she thinks he's not dead because there aren't photos of his dead body readily available on the internet. That's her whole thing. Why can't I see photos of his dead body lying in the street? He must be alive. That's the whole rest of the conspiracy. What else can we get in before we call it a night? Let's try this. You'll never believe what this guy says is a sin.
My name is Raymond. I am from America. Please help me to share this vision so that people may.
Oh, this is a fake thing. No one from America says, I am from America. Americans are all super self-involved, and they don't consider anyone wouldn't assume they're from America. So no American writes, I am from America. They assume you know that already. So this is a fake story.
May know that oral sex is a sin that leads to hell. This incident and vision happened to me in the spring of 2023. I was at work talking to my friend.
What I said about Vought, Opinion of the Baby Geniuses series, I am not joking. I am one of the only people on the planet that has seen every single Baby Geniuses sequel. I don't know who knows this. There are at minimum, I believe there are 4 Baby Geniuses sequels. Baby Geniuses 2, Super Babies, and then a trilogy of 3 movies with different babies that are consistent, and Jon Voight is the villain. In those Baby Geniuses sequels, Jon Voight does both brown face and yellow face. I don't think I would recommend you watch Baby Geniuses, but here he is. Oh, look, this is my tweet when I tweeted about this. Sorry, I hate Twitter, but there it is. It's my tweet. So here's where Jon Voight was in brown face in Baby Geniuses, like 3 or 4. And here he is in yellow face in, again, 3 or 4. So that's 4. This one's also in 4. Same movie. He did yellow face and brown face. What I'm trying to say is maybe don't watch the Baby Geniuses sequels. But do watch the first Baby Geniuses, because I enjoy it. It's not maybe objectively good, but I like it. So, where were we? I was somewhere, watching something. It was the blowjob video. There we go.
Work peer. We are both Christians, and we were discussing oral sex, if it was acceptable to God as long as the man and woman were married. I informed him that the Holy Spirit had revealed to me that oral sex was a sin against God, regardless of if you were married or not. I told him that
green guy with $1 tip says, when I was in Afghanistan, we lost a guy. Dumb fuck was driving without a seatbelt on base and rolled the vehicle. Just saw him and the next day was gone. There are good reasons humans have death rituals. Oh my goodness. That's an unfortunate way to die.
That oral
Wear your
sex
seatbelts, kids.
leads straight to hell, but my
Where does it say that in the Bible? It doesn't directly say that anywhere in the Bible.
friend, who is a married Christian, told me that he did not believe me. I told him that God created our private parts for reproduction of children to be fruitful.
If God didn't want private parts in our mouths, then why do they fit? Just a thought. Just a thought. Just a thought. Don't make them so compatible.
And multiply on the earth, not for oral sex. No matter what I said, he still informed me that he and his wife enjoyed this practice and that he believes that as long as you are married, it is acceptable to the Lord. We completed our work night and went home to our wives. I thought about what my friend said that day at work. That very night, I laid with my wife and committed the act of oral sex with her.
Committed the act of oral sex.
Immediately convicted by the Holy Spirit, I acknowledged my sin and asked God to please forgive me. Soon after, I fell asleep and went into a vision. In the vision, I was in an area where there were lots of people going and coming. Suddenly, I noticed the people were troubled by something. At first, it appeared that some people were disappearing, but as I looked closer, I realized that the rapture of the church was happening.
Oh no, I got left behind by Jesus because I sucked cock. Damn you, Jesus!
And some people were being taken up in a blink of an eye at an extremely high rate of speed. I began to wonder and pray on why I was not being raptured up to meet Jesus Christ in the air. Immediately, the Holy Spirit revealed to me that I could not be raptured because of the oral sex I had committed with my wife earlier that night. I believe God hid from me the fact that I had asked for forgiveness because I could not remember confessing, repenting, and asking for forgiveness for the oral sex I committed. But I could clearly remember committing oral sex with my wife. In the vision, I began to confess my sin and ask for forgiveness. I believe God did this on a purpose to verify to me that oral sex is absolutely a sin against Almighty God. In the
Joan Corbell says, one time when I was a very young child, I was in a hardware store and lost track of my mom and thought that all Christians had been raptured and I had been left behind. We shouldn't be teaching these things to children. I would agree.
vision, I was not raptured up, but had to stay on the earth to endure the great tribulation period where Satan, the beast, and the false prophet will reign and aggressively hunt down, torture, persecute, and kill all Christians who refuse to take the mark of the beast and who refuse to deny Jesus Christ as Lord.
The mark of the beast was just a pearl necklace all along. You're welcome. I solved it. All right, let's see what's next. We only have like 15 minutes left, so we got this. We got this. I'll save the when's Valentine's? Probably do the Valentine's one now. I could save it for Friday. We'll save it for Friday. Friday we'll probably do another tinfoil thing, and I'll make sure that this is there. The 14th, of course, is Valentine's Day, and this is a Valentine's Day conspiracy. We'll save that. How's Hans?
As you may be able to guess from
Ashley One Up says, you ever been so bad at oral, God just said nope?
looking at this image, this is going to be a ramble video on just some topics that I think about very often, and these are just concepts that that come to mind.
Goblin says, hey Hannah, what did one lesbian vampire say to the other? See you next month, babe. Okay.
Very frequently, because it's the way that the world is. And just after I finished drawing this picture, what, like, the story that came to my mind of how the world works is, you know, like, this is the big picture. This is Hogwarts. This is everything that's going on. But your average normie who is just stuck in the rat race and
oh, you're right. I did cover this last time, didn't I? We only got like 3 minutes into it.
Because Jesus isn't.
But we did cover that. I remember the doodle too.
Like, I'm
bad face. Happy birthday to your mom, Janerdy.
Areas of Earth. Hello, friends of the truth. As you live daily on various areas of Earth, understand fully that no one reading this communication is on the vast continent of Antarctica.
That's not necessarily true. There's a lot of people in Antarctica. It's still the Antarctic summer right now, so this is the season where there's a lot of people down there in various labs and facilities. They have internet access at a decent number of them. Well, that's not necessarily true.
Having remote areas where humans never dare to explore in leisure, there are many that are on mission.
I hate to break it to you, but exploration and leisure aren't really, like, things that go in the same sentence. And when I say exploration, I don't mean, like, oh, you're on vacation and you're exploring the city. No, I mean, like, actual, like you're charting something. No one's been here before. You're exploring. That's not a leisurely activity. That's a life and death survival activity. For the record.
Missions of light. These white hats from the Pleiades and other Elohim.
What do I use to get such volume in my hair? I don't know. Right now my hair looks terrible because I have so much shit in it and the bands have, like, got it all up. I don't know. I just use conditioner. I do a hair mask every once in a while. And I don't shampoo every time because it dries out my hair.
Races that we have shared are there frequently and in great
Every other or every 3 showers, maybe, wash hair, but always condition.
numbers. Dark forces bases
I also have leave-in conditioner.
are
Again, it looks bad today, though.
also scattered throughout the area, with only 200 left as the light takes over in great numbers. The Galactic Federation has bases throughout the planet. Some of the finest and most luxurious are beneath the ice in Antarctica. There are vast openings where crafts enter seamlessly, and the occupants are ushered into hallways and structures of crystals and beauty. There are large, soft chairs and sofas. There are wonderful meals.
Yours is always flat. When your hair's wet and it's drying, do some scrunches. Like try not to do this. Don't rake it down and that'll flatten it. Like, scrunch it up while it's still wet.
Shared among
Although I guess I don't know what texture your hair is. I have curly hair, so it might be different.
those gathered to discuss the issues of Earth and other stars and planets. Of
Gerald Elliman says, Hannah, have you ever noticed that you say X looks bad in response to people telling you X looks good? Yes, people are wrong.
duality.image. There are meetings regarding planetary action that would be instantly in place with dark forces. Eradicated should nuclear threat become imminent. White hats arrive from military positions around the planet. There are always representatives from Elohim races that are acting on your behalf.
Elohim races?
Places of power on Earth. They blend seamlessly with others and get their work done as they vanish to meet on crafts and in higher-powered operations beneath ice and mountains. Another covert operation is the constant monitoring of clone activity. Having many secret facilities for product replacement of humans has become a large undercover deception that the planet is undergoing. Galactic Federation allows free will and has always been aware of
That's nice of them to allow free will.
the growing numbers of clones in action. Now, this will continue until the grand shift. It is a tool used by many to replace a human that has been completely removed from life on this plane of existence. Galactic Federation has many plans and actions that are not revealed in these moments, but know clearly that they are in control.
Why couldn't clones have free will? You gotta understand that to a conspiracy theorist, a clone is not the same thing as a clone in real life. So the scientific concept of a clone is literally, it's a genetically identical copy of something, It's a materialistic endeavor. But these people, they literally believe that, the soul exists and that only God can, create anything. So as far as they're concerned, if you were to clone a human being, which we're not capable of doing currently, also there are moral implications of that are yikesy, but all that aside, if you could clone a human, as far as a conspiracy theorist is concerned, generally, it wouldn't be a person, because they think it can't have a soul, right? It flies in the face of their metaphysical understanding of reality, Because they view identity as something very spiritual, not materialistic, that exists in the mind. It's about the soul. And how can you be a copy of someone and have the same soul? That's against their worldview. So it has to be like an NPC, soulless being that's like a husk. Very dehumanizing. Do twins not have souls? I don't know what they would say about that. But, they consider clones to be a very different thing. Not true, but they consider it to be so. Unstable Deadbeat with 19 months says, glad this message popped up in time to share before end of stream. Another shitty day at work, another awesome Hannah stream to take my mind off it, even if there were no puppets this time. Thanks for 19 months of entertainment, Hannah. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. I appreciate it.
There are currently 400 large bases in Antarctica that are used by the Galactic Federation. As crafts and motherships are welcome from Sirius, Andromeda, Arcturus, and the Pleiades, the power of light is enormous. Great discussions with commanders and elders brings a unity of wisdom as we move toward a peaceful galactic civilization. There are under ice compounds where evil entities have been held. These forces also operate in the non-physical aspect of life, which enables them to connect in other places, as rituals are held with dark intent. All of this will end with a powerful presence of love and peace that will eradicate and dissolve all energy that is left of these beings of darkness. The Galactic Federation will destroy and remove any further actions. This method will not be revealed. Antarctica is one of several openings to inner Earth. There are civilizations of beautiful areas that are called crystal cities. One that we have shared is a place called Crystal, which was inhabited in the area
There's a crystal city just called Crystal. Lazy.
of Sweden. These beings looked like Pleiadians with a Nordic look of long white hair and blue eyes. These humans became very close to visiting Pleiadians and were protected and given a beautiful place to live in oneness and
sure,
thrive
Magos.
without war and chaos. Pleiadians created all that would be needed.
Said Pleiadians weird there. Wow, they're really not good at using this AI voice.
With vegetation, water, flowers, and landscapes. Animals were brought to Crystal and loved deeply. These souls are living in 3D, and they experience death of the body after hundreds of years. In this moment of leaving the body, they join Earth, native souls, in a haven of light, in non-physical that was created by the Galactic Federation. They choose to enter a waking dream again to live in. Crystal, deep within inner Earth, these souls will shift to sheen and circulate light with crystal hearts.
Okay. That's just word salad nonsense.
So in the Book of Enoch, the original word for watcher is the Hebrew term Iring, which translates to watcher, guardian, or one.
No, I'm gonna save this. Alright. We're at the end of the stream. I don't want to get into anything else because I won't have enough time and I gotta shower and stuff because I gotta get up early for work tomorrow, unfortunately. But I will be back tomorrow for another stream. I'm not sure what we'll be doing tomorrow. Maybe Sovsits. Last time we did Sovsits, there was a puppet that was kind of annoying, so maybe we'll do a normal Sovsit stream. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I appreciate it. If you're watching the VOD later and you want to help towards the karaoke stream goal, remember now until Friday, all tips are doubled, and that includes in after hours. So if you are watching the VOD or whatever and it's still this week, between February 11th, 2025 and February 14th, 2025, they will be doubled. But yeah. Cool beans. Let's see who we're gonna raid, shall we? Ooh. Thanks, Harold Helfman. I won't tell the NFL if you don't. Alright, who are we going to raid? How about VCR?
Watcher tomorrow, right?
Alright. Once again, have a great night, everyone. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna go make some dinner and take a shower. Love you too, Mr. Blast. I'll see y'all later. Have a good night. Doo-doo-doo-boop-a-doo-boop-boo. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's the ending theme song, I guess. I don't know why, but it is now. Alright, I'll see you later. Oh, and if you're new, make sure you give me a follow on Twitch or a subscribe on YouTube. I stream most days and we have fun. I'll see you later, guys. Bye.